have the edge.
That's crazy to think about, man, because, we are former players up here. And to see where he's at now, 3 rings, 36 championships, the guy's an absolute beast, the GOAT of Call of Duty. But if you are in this situation, you're currently fighting to make your way to champs. I feel like this would be one of those where it's like, he can make it there at this point. Not even try to win the damn thing, because he started off so bad, at least in the beginning of the season, a lot of adversity with this NYSL roster, subs in, subs out, players in and out, a lot of things happen with this team, but if you're Grim, your legacy is on the line if you do not make it to that chance.
I think the biggest thing he just needs to focus on right now is he needs to be the rock for this team, right? Like, should any player fall a little bit short in this opening matchup, I feel like it should come down to Grim being the one to kind of step it up and put everything back together.
Right, and take a look at the bubble right there and the point. So, NYSL, this is definitely like a must-win thing for them outright, right? But Minnesota Rock are sitting right underneath that yellow line right there, trying to get that spot for champs. Nameless, they're trying to win games, man.
They're trying to win games. They did what they needed to do throughout the stage, at least. They came back, and it was tough in the Search and Destroy, which has been the game mode that they beat on. But then towards the end, they sort of figured it out. We heard Attach talk about how they sort of free-fall with the play calling. The SMGs are a little bit too aggressive, sometimes going in around relying on that. So he kind of became the in-game leader where they just listened to his calls, which I think was the right move for these guys. But this is a Minnesota Rocket team that has just been struggling on land all season long. Majority of their points have come from the online stage, so these guys have to translate that to some land wins. It's been a struggle.
And in a must-win scenario right here, take a look at the stats as well. Ali, this is possibly the second best stage they've had so far, but it's just not enough.
It's an interesting angle to take with the Minnesota Rocker team, because when they added Havoc to this roster, we saw across the board every player got better, right? He added a lot in the slaying category, but even Attach getting moved into that AR role, like, this Minnesota Rocker team looked so much better than they did before, but now I feel like we're starting to see a little bit of the cracks show when it comes to this team. I feel like they're just losing some of that composure and clutch factor that Major Maniac added to this squad. Even when we talked to Attach, he was like, in our Search and Destroy, sometimes, it's a free-for-all, as Ant told me earlier, like, they just don't go with one person. So he kind of took the reins. They started winning Search and Destroys, but he has to continue doing that here at this Major. They need to continue to have a leader in the likes of Attach, and I know Havoc's capable of doing it as well, so they really need to focus on not talking.
No, you're right. And with Minnesota Rocker and also NYSL really putting the pedal to the metal and trying to speed things up for that race to go to champs, there's one team that's definitely found the need for speed. And they're really fun to watch, by the way, because the Florida Mutineers will be taking on the Boston Breach. And Ali, when it comes to Boston, we got to be outright honest right here. They're one of the most exciting teams to watch. They're so fast.
I feel like there's a really underrated roster change, right? You're like, oh, they're just kind of swapping out 2 players that are very similar in role, but we've seen it has completely transformed them. And what's funny about the new SMG duo is Vivid's not even the fastest. It's actually Nero. He's somehow gotten faster with this move. So they end the stage 4 and 1. I mean, they're making them look a run here, but they're still close on that bubble. Yes, they're at 170 points, but that's only 10 above Toronto Ultra. That's only 20 in front of the big bubble at the end of that. So, Jay, they still have a lot of work to be done.
They definitely still have a lot of work, but if you're going into this stage 4, looking at what Boston Breach's schedule was like, coming off of a roster change, you're probably thinking it's one of the most tough schedules you have to go through to try to even make it in the winners bracket. They go 4 and 1. And it's all about this new identity for Boston Breach. Instead of playing the more the Futsus, the Berlins, where it was all AR based, now they're focusing on their SMGs. Nero was sitting at like a 1.1 throughout stage 4, and also TJ Halley. He's been playing a lot more consistent ever since adding Vivid to this team. They look a lot more comfortable. The only thing that they need to work on is their Search and Destroy. That usually happens when you have a roster change, but with more time underneath their belt, they definitely have to sharpen their game.
I think you can see, like, they got a ton of points throughout the stage, and they're a tough matchup for a lot of these teams because you're coming into the veto process. Like, these guys, they're winning both games to start off a lot of these series. Their Berlin Hardpoint also look fantastic, but then they're 4-1 in control. And in their last match that they had before heading out to there, they played 2 Kabutus versus Toronto Ultra, one map 1 and 3 dominating fashion. So for Boston Breach, strategically, it's been all there. This is a team that their SMGs have been super frying, and then on the AR maps, they look a lot better as well. So it'd be hard to read them. I'd be scared going into the veto process. Like, I don't know what to expect.
Well, and we have to talk about Vivid, right? Like, this has been the talking point, and their first matchup is against the Florida Mutineers. Like, what a better revenge tour for him, because he has overturned this squad. He's found consistency. I mean, he had a .88 overall with Florida. He now has a .93 with Boston.
Yeah, they're going to go absolutely dumb crazy.
Like, Vivid has added so much to his Florida
Vivid
is
turns
now
out
dropped
today.
off because of the plays that he makes on the map.
Like,
And
there's
so, with
2
Vivid added into his
really
roster
good
and their
orbs
first
that
matchup
would
being the Florida
get
Mutineers,
dropped
I'm
out of
expecting
possibly
Yeah,
making
Boston,
the
they're
champs.
probably ready to go just about outright,
If
right? But meanwhile, on the other side,
Boston
on the other side
can
of the
win,
table, the Florida Mutineers.
and if Ultra
Two team
can win,
changes, not a lot of wins, a lot
then
of
New York
headaches.
can
And this
climb
team,
the rank.
they're struggling to find themselves right now, and being one of the main teams on the bubble. They're
Rockets gonna be hard to beat.
Everything out there was just struggles with that roster change, right? They figured it out in
You
the
got
last 2 games. They
Florida.
played in game 5, but a lot
Florida,
of that
you
credit is
got
going to go to Major
New
Maniac.
York.
This guy was taking over, just muscling them through in these search and
LAG.
destroys, 1v2s with a couple of aces, just big performances all
LAT.
around, right? So you can't say nothing about this guy. But
And
for
New
awakening
York
this guy,
can all
those
possibly
players need to be
qualify
better. They are the star
off
players
of
on this
weekend.
team. They're supposed to pop off and respawn, and they had a very underwhelming qualifying stage. Now, the story with this team throughout the season is those two players typically do play better on land, so they are still in a good spot when it comes to the points. But if those guys don't step it up, Major Maniac's not going to be able to solo get the championship.
Exactly, like Namo said, I mean, Major Maniac has just been backpacking Florida when it comes to these search and destroys. I mean, they were ninth in the league before he got added to the roster, and now they are second. Major has a 1.22 overall in this split when it comes to search and destroy. And what are they still struggling in? They are still struggling in respawn. They have Skies and Awakening. The slang is there for these players, and I feel like a lot of flack is getting thrown towards Surreal, but they have Vivid as well in the beginning. So you got to start thinking if your SMGs are continuously getting put into a blender, it is a bigger problem than just one person.
Well, that's that risk that you take. You bring a Major Maniac, you search and destroy because it looks beautiful. You bring in Too Real, you take out Vivid, and you start to struggle and respawn. The question is, will Florida get back to form? We'll find out very soon. But also, these extra teams are going to be very fun. All right, when it comes to the Los Angeles teams and also the Atlanta FaZe, we're talking about two teams that are very consistent at something. Atlanta FaZe consistent at
LAT.
going to the championship game and getting second in.
They're not
LA Fuse are
qualified.
consistent at being inconsistent. Now, my question
They
is,
have to beat
Nicholas,
FaZe,
when it comes
which
to LA,
isn't gonna
man,
happen.
I mean, I don't know about you. I personally like this.
I mean, yeah, LA Thieves, and where
It's
we
gonna
have
be a good game.
There you go.
They're not gonna lie.
Here, LA Thieves, though, I mean, they're search and destroy. I mean, you talk about inconsistency. This is the team that really just it lights up the light bulb in my mind when I think of that word. Because in search and destroy, they get 12-1 by Atlanta FaZe. They get through a couple series by winning S&D. You know, their last with 2 search and destroys. And then when we look back at the major, they fix their search as well. I mean, everybody, not even just the team, the players are inconsistent on this roster. So this is the one team that I truly just do not know what to expect from. All I do know is that when Draza was struggling throughout the stage, it was tough for them. He started picking up towards the end. So he's the X Factor player for me on this stage.
But when it comes to the tie-ins in the game as well, Atlanta FaZe is always a topic of conversation. Now, the fact of the matter is this team is not looked as hot as they used to look lately. And Ali racking up a string of consecutive losses. And their rankings dipping right now. This Atlanta team isn't guaranteed anymore.
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter is, yes, they are disgusting at search and destroy again. And we've seen Atlanta FaZe in their serious form is when they are basically undefeatable when it comes to that game mode. But their respawn has dropped off so much this stage, where they were a team that already heavily heavily relied on breaking, heavily relied on gun skill, heavily relied on the pressure that they put on the map. Fundamentally, they're rotating a little bit more now, but their break percentage has dropped over 20%. They cannot get the fundamentals down, and Search and Destroy does win championships, but they need to at least get one respawn under their belts.
And I completely agree with you. When you're talking about the fundamentals for Atlanta FaZe, this is a team throughout all the stages where we're dead lasting break percentage. And that's usually a struggle for them. At least in the beginning of the year, Nameless told me that they were 11th on rotation with percentage of winning a majority of their hardpoint still. They were just using their raw talent at that point. But now every team is starting to catch up, starting to play to their mistakes. And every time they make a mistake, you see teams like Seattle always able to capitalize on it. If you're Atlanta FaZe, your S&D is looking sharp. But it all comes down to your respawn. You have to make sure you
I mean, I want LAT to win
Now,
this whole
one team that's playing sharp and fundamentally
ATL
correct
drops
right now,
down
one
the
of the top
losers,
teams
and then
in the
hopefully gets
last stage,
eliminated
by the way. It's gonna
early,
be
and
London
then
Royal Ravens. But
say
they're going
Optic
against
pop
another good team
off.
as well. Toronto Ultra, we all saw what
Optic
they
pop
did in the
off.
six. Now, the thing is, to tell both of these teams are quite different. As we take a look at the matchup between
I can overtake the first seed.
Nameless, these are two legendary names.
I mean, yeah, but we know the record when it comes to season. Beats him basically every time. Nance has a couple wins, though. I think it's like 2. But yeah, I mean, talking about this matchup, right? Everybody's been gassing up the London Royal Ravens. And rightly so, the hardpoint's been unbelievable. But I have some concerns.
Make
with
sure
this
audio's
team.
on.
They can lose that map 1. You are in a terrible spot. So for London Royal Ravens, God knows, man. I hope they fix their control in the couple days they had before they came to this event. But aside from that, Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, has been great throughout this stage.
Okay,
Neutral
audio
came back to this team. Everybody started to play better. Afro is at the top of his game, making those plays on rotation. The break percentage is #1 in the league. Like, these guys are phenomenal in every game mode outside.
But I'm almost getting a little bit of a flashback from stage 1, right? They were popping off when Gizmo was on his roster, and then when we went to LAN, it was like, what kind of happened? So we're hoping that doesn't make a repeat here for the London Royal Ravens. But for Toronto Ultra, I mean, I feel like they've lost their way fundamentally. Like, I think with our Toronto Ultra, we're so used to them being a teamwork-based team, where I feel like when it comes to this game, and especially from what we saw at Major 3, they are more momentum-based than I think they know. Like, when they added Scrappy, he is a very outgoing player who is going to stand up. He's going to yell. He's going to get people hyped. You get something gross, he's going to be screaming it out in the comms. And I feel like that really helped that team right away. And I feel like it's
Fucking
dropped off a little bit. And
Karis
they're not
feels bad, man.
here, but I feel like we're going to see a
Feels
better Toronto
bad.
Ultra on land than we saw offline.
I completely agree with you. At least Toronto, their backbone right now has to be control. They kind of fell off throughout the last stage in Search and Destroy, going 3 and 5.
Ooh.
And usually, ever since the beginning
Ultra
of the year,
could
Hardpoint
also
always
drop,
struggled
and
with them.
then
For some
LETs
reason, though, when
could
they
go
get on
in.
land with the energy, like you said, Ali, they usually like to find a lot of success. But in order for them, at least in my opinion, to beat the Ravens, it has to come by taking that control and then winning into the Search and Destroy, keeping the hard points close as well.
Yeah, I mean, what do we know Toronto as? They're 2-3-5. Awesome. 2 and 5 have not been good throughout this entire stage. It's just been inconsistency, especially in the Search and Destroy. I feel like Phoenix has been getting ISO'd. Like, they figure out where he's at. Like, when we saw the Tuskens, P5, they're playing for the kills over there on him now. When he gets taken out, it seems like Ultra just doesn't really know what they want to do. Some of the desert secrets have been sloppy as well. So we'll see, though. This is a team. The land energy, like you said, in Search and Destroy, can be very dangerous.
Hey, we're in New York. The energy is definitely going to be up there. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this part of our pre-show headquarters. But on the other side, we have a lot more to talk about. Most importantly, the matches that are coming up. And also, we're going to give you an update on what happened in Challengers when we were out in Boston. We'll catch you guys on the other side of the ring.
No way, it's that
Welcome to
empty.
Brooklyn, baby. We'll catch you guys on the other side.
Mountain Dew and NYSL
I mean,
are
it is
giving away
still kind of
tons of
early.
prizes all weekend long. 1 of 4 custom gaming
Wait,
rigs.
no,
and
matches start
get some exclusive Game Fuel discounts.
12:30.
Hit up nyxl.com/do for more info. Mountain Dew and NYSL are giving away tons of prizes all weekend long. 1 of 4 custom gaming rigs. And get some exclusive Game Fuel discounts. Hit up nyxl.com/do for more info. Mountain Dew and NYSL are giving away tons of prizes all weekend long. 1 of 4 custom gaming rigs. And get some exclusive Game Fuel discounts. Hit up nyxl.com/do for more info. Mountain Dew and NYSL are giving away tons of prizes all weekend long. 1 of 4 custom gaming rigs. And get some exclusive Game Fuel discounts. Hit up nyxl.com/do for more info. Mountain Dew and NYSL are giving away tons of prizes all weekend long. 1 of 4 custom gaming rigs. And get some exclusive Game Fuel discounts. Hit up nyxl.com/do for more info.
We took our signature sandwich and cranked it up to 11. With bacon and cheese, it's the new Signature Club. Remix by Zaxby's.
Welcome back to beautiful Brooklyn out here in New York, and we're at King's Theater where just the views are just vibey outright. Oh, I'm loving it. This is the most beautiful event I've personally gone to. But something else beautiful happened over the past few days in Alley. The AIM-Lab Sky Report. There was a Challengers event out there in Boston.
It was about the Challengers event. Unfortunately, the home team only placed top 4, but I'll tell you what, that grand finals was a ruler between Toronto Academy, NA, and Electrify Steel. It went to a game 5 in the first series. Scrappy ended up going like 14 and 5, but ended up winning the Search and Destroy in a 6-4 fashion.
Right now, Challengers It's been incredible this year. The Passion Pit has gone state to state, and we saw it in multiple events so far. Nameless, man, this is the future of Call of Duty, and it's basically a rite of passage.
What we're hearing is like Big Cool and Scrappy are next up, man. These guys have been taking over. You know, we're talking to some of our friends that are in Challengers last night. They were talking about the players in Challengers and who's nasty, and these guys have been dominant all season. And then Scrappy, just one of the most confident players in the entire, like, honestly, anywhere between amateur and pro players. Like, I've never talked to a player with more confidence. So I'm excited for him, man, and his future in Call of Duty. They're going to cling on to him. The Ultra better not let that one go.
I'm absolutely loving it. Now, these guys play for a lot of money. First place with Ultra Academy NA, 24 racks. That's a lot of money. But I'm also one of the stars to be a bit Scrappy. You saw Scrappy fill in for Toronto Ultra, where he was just an outright playmaker. He was fearless. And the thing is, Ali, when you're a player of his confidence and stature, those are the plays you make.
Not even confidence and stature, but like the fact that he backs it up. I remember when we first started talking about Scrappy, it was like, well, we got to make sure, you know, he's not all bark. He also got fight. Well, he does across the board. I mean, first in almost every category. I mean, he's made noise in the league as well, and even helped his main team, Toronto Ultra, get some of their swag back during stage 3. So I saw him backstage, and hopefully he gets the boys pumping for day 1.
When I see Scrappy out of this, it just makes me happy. But talking about getting some swag, ladies and gentlemen, we got some swag for you, because when it comes to the Champs Pack, you can get your 2022 Champs Pack today. Dominate the competition with the Patamati Operator Skin, SMG, and AR blueprints. Go to CallOfDutyLeague.com to get yours right now. And also, all right, check this one out. The Put Me in There C is absolutely beautiful. I'm loving it. Check out the Call of Duty shop, where you can get these awesome native teams, new takes on your favorite teams. Order yours today.
Fire, you know I love the graphic tees, man, so I got to get my hands on those. Whoever's
Florida's
out. We do.
Yeah, I need that Metro Card t-shirt. I definitely need that Metro Card t-shirt from Southline.
It's so nice. But, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? That's it for the free show. On the other side, we're finally going to kick off this event. It's been a long time coming. Major 4, Brooklyn, New York, London Royal Ravens, Toronto Ultra. You do not want to miss it. We'll catch you guys on the other side of break. Finally get this game going.
New York Subliners, they had 2 huge chokes to get bumped out of the tournament at Major 3.
Is because of the point disparity, right? New York, they sit in that 11th seed, only 70 points to their name.
This is a must-win game for NYSL, and really in a scared position to even make the top 8.
Alright, so something to talk about while we wait is I'm going to start covering Valorant on this channel. So all league competitive matches and online tournaments will be streamed throughout the week, depending on how many we watch.
What about now? What about the future?
Well, it's time for Jason to really show us what he's made of.
We're also going to be doing Pokemon TCG online openings, booster match openings, breaks.
Nero is flying around without life type stuff. He's 12 and 4. Look at Nero, he's still going. Makes Nero as a hero over and over again. It's a casual 49 and 33 from Nero. 5,500 damage. That man was running around shooting suns out of his MP40.
Alright, we're going to do nothing. Let us load.
Seattle Surge get the job done. Major champions have not skipped a beat. They have not missed a step, and they have come right back in swinging.
Seattle, they're just flying. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Brooklyn, New York, where we have the first matchup of the day. Getting ready. At the London Royal Ravens versus Toronto Ultra. When it comes to both of these European teams, kind of like the skater, they're trying to see who the king is right now. I can't wait to see who comes out on top of this rivalry. But here on the desk to break it all down, my name is Billy. We got Ali, Nameless, and also Steady, the New York native, right? But Steady, for this matchup right here, man, if you were to give me an elevator pitch, what are we expecting?
Oh, this is going to be an absolute speed fest. You're talking about the S&Gs on both sides. You got Afro and Nasty going up against Vance and Kleenex. So far throughout this stage, though, obviously Toronto not having the best performance. They go 2-3, get the reverse sweep versus Optic Texas, but overall it just hasn't been a clean stage for them. On the opposite side for London, great in that hard point, okay in the search and destroy, and then abysmal in control. So this is going to be a battle, at least at the respawn.
This map set is wild to me. We're talking about London's 2 best S&D maps.
Yep.
And then looking on the opposite side, there's an auto veto for the Toronto Ultra, the Bokeh SD, and then there's Siege, which is also one of their worst search and destroys. I mean, it's still decent there, but this is just wild to me that they went with these maps in this series.
Oh, yeah.
And then also the map 1, we're looking at London on a 6-game win streak. Now, granted, Ultra's been decent there as well. I mean, this is going to be crazy. Everything points to a London win.
This will be real fun. And when it comes to London, by the way, this will be Gizmo's first time back on land with his team. And talking about raw skill, there's no protection against him, right? The Royal Ravens right now, Nameless, 4-1 in the online qualifiers. One of the best teams in the game.
One of the best things in the game. Like we said, these guys have been unbelievable in hard point. You know, to talk about one player specifically, Afro has been lights out. It had a massive improvement in search and destroy. I mean, a lot of the credit has to go to Afro. Like, this guy literally is the first button machine. He makes plays.
Are we kicking off the day with London?
Important aspect to these. So, you know, I'm excited to see these guys on land with Gizmo back in the roster. They've been having a lot of success for the game 50 is a victory. Allie, who's looking at
I mean, for me, it's just keep doing what they've been doing. Like, their respawn in hardpoint has been disgusting. And, of course, we just kind of want to sweep control under the rug. Obviously, that's not a favorable situation, but when it comes to a major, there's only so much you can do to fix a game if you were struggling so much in, and they got to lock down the Desert Siege. When we talk about this matchup, they played Toronto earlier in this stage in the same 1, 2, and 4 maps, and London won all 3 of those. So definitely scary for like the Toronto Ultra, but if you're a Ravens fan, you're flying high.
You're flying out here, Ravens fan, but also lately, we just came back from the 6th at their last major, and even though they put on a spectacular show for everybody out there, they weren't able to finish as high as they wanted to, and then the online qualifiers after that were kind of a struggle. But the thing is, you just can't give up on this team when it comes to Land Alley. When it comes to Toronto, they're still in the bubble right now, and I'm looking at this team to really make a statement.
A really interesting stat for me when it comes to this Toronto squad is they're 3-5 in search and destroy right now, but they have an overall team KD of 1.09, meaning the slang is there. Mostly I'm looking at the likes of Insight. So again, I think that they have just lost some of their way fundamentally. But when it comes to the game, so he's a victory and take it away.
Yeah, SD has to be better than the qualifiers to make a run. 3-5 record during stage 4 qualifiers, a 2-3-5 team, like you said. And, you know, looking back at the maps that we had, they're playing like their auto veto and Bokeh, so coming with a different look. Because, like you said, some of the players have been getting ISO. They've been getting easy red and then take the swing game, touching control. In my mind, in the series, that is a must win. London have not won a control throughout stage 4 qualification. They have to win that control.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with all this build-up, I'm ready to explode. And while I'm excited, let's keep it going. I'm going to put everybody here on the hot seat, starting with you, Jay, man. When it comes to predictions and pick'ems, you got one in this first series.
I think this series is going to be a grueler from start to finish. For me, though, I think I'm going to go with the veterans on the team. I'm going to go with Ultra all the way into Game 5. They're going to be able to get it done in a 2-3-5 manner. It's going to be close hard points, but as long as they're looking as good as they are, usually in Search and Destroy, they're going to be okay. Control needs to be a lock.
All right, Allie, we got Bance, we got Zero, we got Gizmo. Listen, these
You're dumb if you think Ultra's
going to be on top.
I was hesitant, Val, but after seeing that 1, 2, and 4 maps that London's already beat them on, and knowing Zero's record against Vance on land, I have to go with the London Royal Ravens. They're just looking so good this game.
All right, Nameless, you're always honest and you say it with your chest every single time, man.
I gotta keep it a buck, man. Toronto Ultra, I just have faith in them on land. Like, I feel like in Search Destroy, they take that into the control. They'll just be in such a good position. So I'm gonna go with the Toronto Ultra.
Really?
Prove it to me type of guy. London have not proven it to me on land.
All right, well, London's proved it to me since stage 1. The thing is, we're just waiting for the culmination of this team's potential to really blow up and go sky high.
Does London choke on land?
Gizmo's back, the swagger's there, and this team is better than ever. When it comes to hardpoint, you better watch out for that main AR, aka Zero.
London should win this.
It's a pleasure to finally say welcome to Major 4. It's finally time to get this game started between the London Royal Ravens and Toronto Ultra. Let's get into it.
Gizmo. Nancy. This kid's a freak. Now you got the OG Zero. Oh, oh. I don't know. I think there's like only really two players from Ultra that really stand out, and that's Cammy and Kleenex. I mean, Insights had his moments, but his moments only happen online, not as an actual player online. But that's just my take.
What's up, Call of Duty fans? It is Major 4 time, and I'm your stage host playing to help kick off all the action this weekend. Now it is time to bring out our first squad. Help me introduce the Kings of the North. I give to you the Toronto Ultra.
Nah, y'all drop him. Y'all drop him. Could London actually win the whole thing? And then it sets up
Give it up for Bands, Cammy, Insight,
it
and
sets
Kleenex.
up London for first. The first seed.
Our teamwork is on point, but when it comes to this event, I'm just looking at players
See,
like
Vance has had like a couple good plays, but then with
North, they're going to need you behind them.
he's not really had anything
Getting all that hype behind the crowd is
So
Toronto
this
going to be
is
here.
fine.
This time
Like, this
around,
is the time to
going to
show
get some
up.
old friends. It's about that time. Hey, yo, Blaze, it's time to bring out those London boys.
Yes, it is. Going up against some old friends, looking to fly high on the stage. Make some noise for your London Royal Ravens. Give it up for Zero, Nasty, Gizmo, and Afro.
It's a bird, it's a plane. It's a London Royal Ravens flying high and Zero with that AR clapping you. When it comes to hardpoint and just about everything out there, this team is so dynamic. Hear me out. Gizmo coming back to the spot and Zero hitting peak has been perfect because Nasty and Afro has been on another level. The question is it going to continue? Better against Toronto Ultra than anyone else. I can't wait to see what this team is made of. Guys, let's go ahead and get it going, man.
Yo, Belly, I am so ready to get this international banger kicked off, and I can't think of two better casters to call to action, okay? Give it up for Bryson Todd to shut the stage down.
Well, thank you very much there. The stage is set, and of course, I feel like we're being a bit tight cards because we're on the Ravens and Ultra again. But there's one thing I know, the game's going to be good regardless.
It always is. How good was the game online that we've seen? It was Gizmo's first introduction back into the CDL after a small hiatus, which was up against Ultra. And what a game it was. It was a game that surprised both of us. We came into it, we didn't think we would see that level from the side of the London Royal Ravens, but they came out screaming. It did not slow down throughout the whole stage.
No, they really didn't. And it's a very interesting story between these two teams. The Ravens, the return of Gizmo, have looked back towards the top of the CDL. Whereas Ultra, after an incredible Major 3, a little wobble in the camp. We'll have to find out how that translates into land against these two teams.
To delve into the match just a little bit, though, the desk we're talking about, I wholeheartedly agree. I'm very curious when it comes down to these matches, especially with the side of Ultra. But we bumped into Marky B backstage and went, right, okay, what we're saying about the match. He said 3-0. He's confident. And it has to be because it's online. Ultra have looked better online than they have done online. Ravens, you could possibly say the opposite.
Well, say what you like, the little Gizmo bouncing out of his seat there. very, very confident coming into it. A little bit more
Oh,
pressure
what
on
are
Ultra
those
for this one,
cheers?
actually. I feel they barely squeaked into the major bracket at the end of the qualifiers.
What are
And
those
also,
cheers?
they aren't 100% safe. Their odds aren't
Those look
worse.
absolutely
They're
terrible.
not looking as peachy as they would like. Yeah, a winner's bracket definitely helps you from the start, of course, with the points and how it does go down. It does give you that opportunity to lose 2 games in a certain, lose that 1 game, I should say, in a certain sense. But yeah, that's definitely not safe when it does come down to that bubble that we have talked about for the last 3 to 4 weeks. But it should be an interesting one. I can see Gizmo's already starting to point over towards them. There's a little bit of smack talk going on now and then against these 2 teams. But yeah, as mentioned, when it does come down to these maps so far, I see it's the same 3 maps outside of the control, as Ali said on the desk, that we've seen online. And that was the first instance we've seen from Gizmo. But one thing that I'm going to want to touch on throughout all of this has to be the sense of how Zero has been playing and how good he has looked all stage long. Can he continue it is going to be the question for me.
Yeah, that is a big question. Obviously, there were questions about him before we come into this, and I think he's answered an awful lot of them. This is just one step further for them. One of London's biggest things is they stopped that backslide. They were slowly but surely sliding down the table point-wise, and they've stopped that dead. They're all but guaranteed now to go to champs. Realistically, all that's left for them to polish and see if they can win Major 4. It'll be a big boon to them.
And they started here with a
Tuscan
Hard
Hardpoint.
right
That's
now are on a
cool.
6-win streak on this map as the Crown New York gets loud for these 2
This is
teams.
probably
This shall be in the beautiful King's Theatre
the
in
only
Brooklyn.
map I actually like.
One of the sexiest venues I think we've had
I
right
can
now.
say that
It's
I'm not sponsored
beautiful.
by Cobblers.
It's very,
You're not
very
underneath the
beautiful here
contract.
in the arena. And then we are looking forward to some beautiful card
But this
alongside
is
it.
the only good map
We
in the
go right
entire
into
game.
this one. A little bit of revenge for Ultra. They haven't had the best of times against London. But today, that won't matter if they can pull off the W
I
as
mean,
we head into P1.
Berlin
Well, here we go then.
is alright.
For the side of London, as mentioned, that win streak is
and
very, very strong for them at this moment in time. For the side of Ultra, how do you break back onto it? Well, you started with that with Kleenex finding 3. He's going to open things up
okay.
here, London on the back foot.
I told you,
Already
the clinic
putting it out
shows
for
up.
it.
Some extra work there. That's 4 for him already, and he's not going to get out of it. Afro with the navel shut him down, and the pinch will be coming onto Ultra. London looking to regain this straight away.
Shots in from both 2 teams. Of course, we are going to be fighting for this control over towards P2. Gunfights. We're starting to go the way of London.
Ooh.
Side will find 1 more though, and Ultra just hold on by the hairs on the chinny chin chin. Zero will find 2. Can't quite find the 3rd on the entry, but good start from Ultra. This is what we would have wanted,
London
especially
coming
with
out
such
hot.
a high, heavy, statistically sided map for the side of London Royal Ravens. It's always good to have a good start.
It is, and if you kind of cast your minds back, last time I saw him on this map, Zero was the man at the moment. They're only 4
How's he
in
gonna
this,
milk it,
looking for
though?
Cammy towards back tag. Is just going to get that stun out and get away. The rotation of P2 is in for Ultra, but they've got to hold this pressure. Nasty going to come straight to the back and get 1, but gets shut down by Vance.
Right, not looking good so far for the side of the Royal Ravens, but a man that has performed all season long, Zero. 5-1 to kick things off here. Hasn't necessarily worked out too much for the Royal Ravens, but the break is going to come on through. Just still towards the back though, so they get a chance to try and break. Nasty doesn't find the second. Cammy will answer this one back. Ultra still here in numbers, but so are the Ravens. 2 tricks.
At the moment, Ultra were here first. They haven't really barricaded the hill. London has just put the pressure on, and it may have shocked Ultra just a little bit. You can see they are fighting from the back foot. They just have not been able
Let's go,
to
Nasty.
Since Nasty first broke, and it's more kills for the Ravens.
Kills come through with that rotation now for the side of Toronto Ultra as well. It's going to be important. We have really hopped on about the London Royal Ravens on this map in particular, but Ultra, very, very successful.
Second earlier,
4 out of the 5 last times they have played this map, they have won it. Well, 2 teams going toe-to-toe, and it was nice for the Ravens to get some good time there. Bryce P1 was not going their way whatsoever, but they're going to have to break a strong Ultra hold here. Look how
One
far
on
they're
ledge, one mid map, and then one on outpost.
His teammates are ready to push this P5. We can see already Cammy's going to try and hold it against them, but it's Kleenex and Cammy so far for the first 2 kills. Nasty gets 1 towards back tiles. And now they're going to worry about the pinch. Gizmo going for Vance straight away. Cuts him down. And Ultra are now
That was a nice one.
Inside towards the back, though, he could be the hero. Kleenex will find 2 inside of Broken. Inside should get picked off here by Nasty, but he's momentarily the only one here. If he can stay alive, the rest of the team are on their way. Will fall pretty much immediately. Gizmo with the shots. 25 seconds to go here. Ravens still fighting it.
There's a little bit of pain and switch there coming up from the Ultra. They hold this.
Wow. He just 3-man
flipped
flipped him.
As both teams swarm in for this scrap time, but it will be the Ravens that walk away with it. They're keeping their lead alive.
Hey, I mean,
Trying
yeah,
their
all that
best.
time. That's
Good
big.
hold in the end from the side of Ravens once they did break on through. Afro will find 2 towards the church. Find a third as well, all on his own.
Let's go,
And this man's
Afro.
been lighting up the stage during stage 4. Ultra gonna have to deal with it, but there Vance comes in with a second of his own. Nobody able to seemingly get any control here, Brycey. It's back and forth, trade for trade.
Afro,
It's
let's
looking like it's going to be the
go.
Royal Ravens who were here, but again, it's just trade after trade after trade with 45 seconds to go.
Yeah, both these teams committing everything to get in the church at the moment. It's just going back and forth as the gunfights come in for them. Maxinius goes down. The Ravens are here in numbers.
Go nasty.
One. And then it's just going back and forth again. It is chaos in church.
But the Royal Ravens with a little bit of a hold on this now, but the
Get him,
Swans that
Afro.
Ultra always
No,
get
turns
the
the
closest to
wrong
it.
way.
Vance over towards top church should break this for the squad. It's only Gizmo who is left at 8 and 10. He will eventually fall, so Ultra find a break back. It's going to put them within touching distance as we do head over now towards P5. Transitional kills, so starting to come Ultra's next in mid-map. And that is going to be a rotation for Ultra, scrap time for Ultra, everything you could have possibly wanted.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference for them. Now trying to lock this one down. Can the Ravens find a way in? They've already got 2 kills. Can they manage to fire back with 1? Now he's in towards the bottom mode. Ultra going for the pinch, and it's just nothing. He needs to hold this open for the Ravens, and he's got 1, but Insight's going to get one back as well. Ultra are now back into P5 and looking to shrink this lead.
Coming on a 4 spree. Find himself in a position to maybe get something going here. We know how good the glide bomb can be.
Phoenix does that perfectly.
As this 4 spree continues, can he make it 5? Of course he can on to Gizmo. Players above him as well. And the Royal Ravens trying to fight the way through here, but Ultra have held up very, very well and are going to take the lead here at number 1.
Yeah, it's been a huge P5 call from that rotation. Really matter, but Nazi's got in. They're looking for the scrap time. Insight's going to struggle. The Ravens get another one. That is a full life for the Ravens.
Let's
Now
go.
the rotation to P1 is going to be what matters. You can already see players hitting back church. Afro is going to be around there. Ultra will regain the scrap time, but they will not have P1.
0. Shots coming in, not going to be able to get the transition all up. Ultra will lock in this P1 rotation.
So unfortunate. Oh.
These rotations have been really good for the side Ultra. When they're the first ones there, they seem to be locking it in. It's going to be a hard break for them here. The grenades starting to come in off the side of London.
Oh, walkway actually to wait for it. Not going to find any of them. Best to find 0. Looking to pinch this again. He finds Gizmo, but no good. It's slow.
Let's go, Gizmo.
Destroys him, but the Ravens have found back into it. Afro pushing Ultra all the way
That's
back.
4 down, baby. Let's go.
The front foot once again. The tip of the spear so often for the side of Ravens. Haven't seen them lose a gunfight yet. Kleenex will fall. Gizmo is there with him. Happy will eventually be able to answer back here, but the London Royal Ravens find a nice break. They'll have a healthy lead heading into P2.
Yeah, pretty similar last time around. You can see Ultra now setting up. They've got to be careful. Keep an eye on Cammy. He's going to be trying to hold this back close against the pressure he knows is eventually coming towards him. This time in the form of Gizmo.
Gunfight, big gunfight for Gizmo.
Let's go, Cammy.
That's forward now.
Cammy's dead.
A bit, not quite there. Vance will find it. Can they hold it from the front? No, over the top is Afro.
Oh,
Vance will hold
Afro,
up,
let's
but there's
go.
Ultra still here alive and kicking. They really do need these points, but London are the ones putting the pressure on. Ultra still here.
Well, this looks like last rotation. Ultra went here first. They did not get the points. Eventually, the pressure for London got away from them, but they have got the kills now. Looking to secure P5 to flat. You can see the pressure up from Ultra now ramping up in intensity, and they look to just close off London as much as possible.
Cook 'em.
Side could find 1. Second isn't there though, but this was looking like good time for the side of Ultra. London are fighting every single second. 0 find 2.
Let's go, 0.
1.
Let's go, Gizmo.
The Ravens will get on the rotation. Gizmo will start locking in time. No, he will not. That scrap time will go back towards the side of Ultra. It's a 10-point game by the time we head over towards P3. Last time around, Ultra were the first ones here. They locked it in. Can London be as successful this time on?
Well, they've got Nasty on a heater. He's 25 and 17. He's floating down P5. It will be first points now to London. It's a long way for Ultra to go. Sierra almost miles out. It doesn't matter that the sack comes through. He gets it. Pressing out towards tire. Ultra are looking to go through the back. Inside and Cammy are going to be there. But still, Ultra spawning out.
Gizmo needs to stay alive, yeah. Needs to stay alive. Fight will go his way.
Let's go, Gizmo.
That's a good hold so far from the Ravens. Vance appreciating that 0 might try and push that out and finds the kill inside of Broken. So another opportunity here for the Ultra to find a breakthrough. Nasty will be the first one they have to get rid of. Cammy and Cole coming through the side door as well. Shots are in. Trades are there though for London once again. This has been a phenomenal hold over towards P3.
Yeah, they've really put the screws to Ultra. This is a massive turn.
That's a really big hill for London.
Toward the end of this game. Phoenix hasn't found Zero. Keep an eye on number 5. All the way through the back, and he might be an issue. Oh, I don't know where he is, but where are his teammates? They've got a squad. They've got a squad towards the back. Keep an eye. Ultra are going to have to react to this. Everybody from London's in a great position for it as well. Inside shuts down one, looking for a second, shuts him down as well. And Ultra, they may have got the squad against them, but they are holding in church.
Huge kills coming in from inside on the outside. Isn't going to be able to find Nasty. London still spawning here, but Ultra very aware. Zero now sending the kills through. Gizmo with another, and it's Afro. London clean it up.
Let's go Afro. Nice break.
Find out how Ultra are feeling with Elizabeth.
Come back, flash. On the side, steady. Make sure you get there. I'm going to get it, right? Just 1 minute. It's Afro. Yeah. Watch me, watch man. Come on, get it here. Alright. I need to get one. Let's go.
No.
Nice. The guy, yeah. Absolute. Nasty. Go for it. Absolute nasty.
I got fire.
Oh my god. Oh.
Well, the pressure is mounting for Ultra. They're back for the P5. You can hear the calls getting a little frantic, but they definitely try to hold this down like last time. They are still behind, but they have done so much work. Back again at 4. He'll be lucky to go all the way with this one. P1 currently in control of London.
These rotational kills are so big as well. It's momentarily only Zero and Gizmo who's left. That's Gizmo second inside the hill. Inside full train. It's Zero's here. It looks like London do have the purchase on this side. Phoenix are trying to find a route through. London could of course win it in 15. The kill started coming through for the London in prime position.
Well, the are coming from Ultra. They completely
No, not the
nade.
nade.
They have to hold every single second. And London, by the way, is Gizmo already opening up that mid corridor. Inside pushing through. Now looking for it. Inside and Vance combined.
They want to hear it. Let's go.
Every kill.
23 seconds away. They're holding on, but those spawns being flipped. It's caught them off guard. Ravens are bound to break through here. 3 kills falling on through. Cammy needs to find something. So does everybody else on the side of Ultra. Kleenex is here, but he needs to
Let's go.
They have to get in. Ultra looking to open the door. If you can see that ticking down seconds by seconds, it's still possible to win this one. But Ultra are in. They are in. 2-second tickets. They're hiding for his life. He has to do it. Rotation. Here it comes then. London, Nasty diving through. 5 Cammy. 5 one more. That's going to be it. Kleenex is alive. They are still here.
Fly, Zero, fly. Oh my. Oh my god. Fly. Let's go. Holy crap, that was a big time.
Of the Royal Ravens. It's a clutch moment of 1 point in Tuscan to open up the major.
The Eagle has landed in New York. My goodness me! What on earth was that start? It looked
That
like
is
London
actually
had
crazy.
luck. And then the rotation came through. Ultra tried their hardest.
They were playing with my feelings right there.
A 1-point game to kick off the major. Are you kidding?
Well, you really expect to blow my voice out there. Right, let's have a little rewatch and see what went right and what went wrong.
So let's have a look. You can already see Ultra on the rotation because they know they need it. Those final few kills come through for them, which allows them to get there. But Nasty, up through ramp, finds one. The break comes through, and then the trades start to flow. Initially, Ultra start to win it. They find the kills themselves. It's Pants with 2 huge kills from out himself. Afro finds a breakthrough, but Insight trades it. At this stage, Ultra in the driving seat. Where does this initial break come from? Well, not that. Must be Zero and Afro through Church. Yeah, there it is. Nasty finds a kill with a grenade on the side. You got Vance left. Vance and Insight find a kill each, but Gizmo with the 2 is what does it for the Raiders.
Oh, I gotta drop the quality.
And they have pumped it rightfully so, Ton. That was one of the most chaotic endings I have seen. Ultra could have lost it on P1. They got in at P2, and London just set. Full spreading towards the hill. That doesn't always work, but in this case, they won the gunfights. They got it right. P5 was hit. Short Rapture was hit. And the difference was basically nothing, but a point matters.
26 non-traded kills for the side of Nasty there. A very, very good game out
Desert
here.
Siege.
A very good game out of these 2 teams. And we said coming into it, this could be the major for the whole of the year. That could be the craziest one.
Can every map be like that? I don't know.
I really hope Penicillin, my voice was gone for the last 30 seconds of that PowerPoint. I do apologise for sounding a bit breathless, but we're back on land, and it's time for 100%. And what a way, what a map to kick off this set of events. I'm sweating, I'm tired already, but Call of Duty is life.
Oh man, I mean, what a crazy way to start it, but let's go big picture here. This was a map that London would have went into and said to themselves it was a 6-game win streak for them. Ultra hadn't been doing too badly themselves, of course, as we have mentioned, but this was a map that a lot of people would have put over towards the side of the London Royal Ravens. Maybe not in such close of a nature, but I suppose, that's one of those games. If you're Ultra, you push it right to the wire, you are a point off. But does that not hurt you maybe that little bit more sometimes? It can be one of those things you can sort of say, right, okay, that is literally a gunfight difference. That's all that's kind of lost us that game in that scenario, or do you really rest on that laurel a little bit?
I think the benefit for Ultra is they're very used to losing half points. Yes. So we can probably move on for it. But speaking of moving on, let's take a little look at Desert Siege. Here are some statistics that might illuminate how we think it is going to go.
Looking at this for the side of the London Royal Ravens. That's pretty one-sided when it does come down to the statistics. Over the season 6-3, which has them in second.
It's actually not bad. Okay.
All
Alright, stream is back up and working.
In terms of how amount of percentages they are getting them, but when they do get them, that quote-unquote 89% of the time, when they are in a 4v3 situation, they're coming away with the win. That's efficiency from the London Royal Ravens. We look at those first bloods as much as they possibly can do. I think when we talk about this map, how many times do we see Ultra do relatively decent on it through the side of Insight? I'm curious about the side of the battle that's going to go down. Haven't seen too much of the form we see at the beginning of the season from Insight, but if you can bring that here to the major in New York, London are going to have a problem. Those stats will be a little bit skewed.
Yeah, but they want one half of the series going on. Matt is statistically looking forward to. The London Royal Ravens have got to be feeling pretty good. Find out how this all plays out. The match is ready to go.
Here we go then. As mentioned, those stats vary. Very one-sided. Side of the London Royal Ravens, especially with managing to get themselves that lead in that series.
Ow!
Having a look to it though, Insight, we mentioned that he's maybe fell off. I don't want to say fell off, but maybe he hasn't necessarily looked as strong as of recent. Overall, a 1.37 KD as we head into Desert Siege. He's going to be the catalyst for the side of Ultra if they want to get back and tie this series up.
I'll have to find out exactly what they can do. It's always tense between these two teams, but already a first blood for Ultra.
It's Insight who found it as well. He's going to find a second here on the 0. Not quite, but this one was quite far pushed up here. Keep an eye on him as that was now start coming up through. Can he find anything with this pressure? So Raven's not there to help him out necessarily.
Right side of the penalty shooting. The Hoops look heavy has. And they're coming through. They're going to cut him down. We called out the teamwork from Ultra paying off. And they now have it in a 3 versus 1. Can Zero find some magic straight away on this S&D?
It's a difficult situation. Also try and find the pick onto Insight as best as he can, and then go from there. But 33 seconds doesn't have the ball. Not the best spot to be in. Seems like Insight might have this read. It's going to run at the wrong time. Zero's got through.
They have not, though. Giving a bit of noise. We'll have the bomb. Looking for insight. No, he's there. That's going to be a shoulder throw. Ultra will react. They make them different than Copenhagen, I think. Gilix is not going down quite yet.
I can't watch Pixelated, so I'm going to try this one more
That
time.
first round done on the S&D. Just good defensive hold over towards that B side. The first kill comes through from inside. It's always going to make it a little
Why
bit
is this looking more pixelated?
So he's going to be one of the big reasons if Ultra can find something yet. Stats all do lie in the favor of London Royal Ravens, but Insight can help one of those magical search and destroy games that he does have. They're going to be very low. Last time we're on land, secret to success for Ultra. What's going to be their S&D? We're looking for right here in New York. Very little bit of powers control coming through. Ultra will have it, but no pressure onto a site yet. Pressure in, yeah. Decided Torrent with this first split will be huge.
See if I have it above 420 at lag.
Let's see, wanting to make a misstep here. A minute to go. That works out better for the defensive side. Shots starting to be fired though. As Siege has a walk in. Here comes the push now from Ultra. The grenades coordinated from London. That's in the first split. Blackbird is frantic at getting them here. On Desert Siege. Opens it up and Ultra looking to try and get a kill through. Even though he's trying to sneak, but it's not going to work. Ultra finds him eventually. Clear, tries to take the fight. Eventually, one goes down. And Ultra left a little bit high and dry with 28 seconds left to go. That's the problem you have when you take your time on these attacking rounds.
Come on, London.
Nothing really for Kami and Kleenex to do yet. It's going to be a difficult one. Kami can't find Afro. He just gets up with his life. And Kleenex is going to find one of his own, but they really start pushing the tempo. 13 seconds remaining. Kleenex will do well. Ready for Afro. Eventually going to go down this round as well. 8 seconds left. He won't be able to do anything in it, but London Royal Ravens get one back onto the board. And that's very typical of an Ultra setup when it does come down to these attacking rounds on Desert Siege. They do prefer that neutral setup play for the picks. 49% of their rounds go that way, but it is their least effective strategy when it does come down to these attacking rounds, or the least effective at least when it is coming up against some of these other teams. They're next at 4-1 though. Is Ultra now back on the defensive. It's very much about the first one that came in from inside. Now this one, heading back towards that round. So you see him there. Zero now has the big stick out. He's going to try and deal with inside this one. Does the inside hold him off again? Great job. Round and bounce.
Ooh.
Nice by Fulham. Looking for that second one inside. Being very careful now. He knows. Means he cannot afford peek out in any direction. It gives London a great opportunity to get onto this side. And that will not be the only grenade heading over there, I'd imagine. Yet inside already down until that was at 4-6 HP, something along those lines. Gizmo will find them up there. Kleenex, well, he did find the breakthrough. Gizmo was ready and waiting. The call up comes through. It's inside.
Let's go, baby.
We'll find one, then he needs 3 more. I'd say Clutch Master at work, but there's a lot to do. A lot to do. Gizmo is ready for him as well. Afro is ready for him, and he is going to go down.
Let's go.
Inside. The London Royal Ravens take the lead.
Round by round, baby. Round by round.
London, when it does come down to these attacks, A is really where they are finding much more of their success. B is not typically something that they
You spin my round, baby. Round, when it goes down, baby. Goes down.
Next to zero finds
You
that initial kill.
spin my
Round, makes things a lot easier.
round, when it
The next one or
goes
two,
down.
Melbourne will drop those close quarter gunfights, but they're losing it at range at the moment. Well, can Ultra get back into this game? Can they bring this back to the ties? Powers controlled again for them. And they're going to know where they are.
Round, baby. Round, go down. Go down.
Oh, good shots coming in from Afro. Needed that.
Let's go, Afro.
From now going down. Is Zero going to be there to answer the question? Yes, he is. Bats falls. 2v1. Inside looking for this. He knows the practice is going to be on him again. He's last alive. What's the plan here for Insight? 30 seconds remaining. Zero on Overwatch. It's a problem here. Zero with the sniper. It's not going to be easy for Ravens to do something with Inside yet. It's going to have to be Afro to find something. Oh, there you go. It's Afro again. And the London Royal Ravens go up 3-1 in the S&D. Nicely done. It's a good comeback there, actually, because Ultra seem to be in control of these trades.
Bam!
Oh, yeah. Not too much junk in the trunk. Yeah, see, either way. Kill comes through. It would have been difficult for Insight either way, but one of those players that in those situations you can never ever count them up. Certainly can't. They're going to need him firing on full form to get back into it. London probably feeling very confident now going into this next round. They have the attack. They have Zero, who is hitting his snipe so far. Really only two of them really necessary. Almost gets caught. Ultra trying to play the captain to him. And taking a lot of
They
back
jinxed
control
him
away.
so hard.
Yeah, Ultra very far pushed up yet. Nasty, oh, I can't find the gunfight. Just won't find that trade. Not the first word over the one side Ultra, but they haven't been making them count. Try and have a look which way London are presuming to go here, but I think it's just going to be a slow and steady one. Try and find some sort of pick. France is in the position already and waiting for this one. He pushed up as well. Awkward map here, not too sure who's actually in control. They're trying to figure this one out. Gizmo's already found inside towards the back. Somehow he's saying, Zero absolutely destroys Cammy. Afro has gone down now. Fast is made a play for it. Insight's in trouble. He needs reinforcements. You can see Matt sprinting over there to try to shut it down. 27 seconds left to go. London have to make a move. Not much utility on the side of Vance to help them out here either. We'll be expecting Gizmo's pushed up as well as the bomb does go down. Insight on his way over, but this is a precarious position now for the side of Ultra. It's a big round. 2v2. It's going to be a really good retake as well. You can see London attacking this ready. He's going to find it with Zero for Overwatch, and that's the issue. The setup was ready for it. Insight, this is another attempt at a clutch for him. This would be one of the best players at it. Going to see his head. Find the first, 19 seconds. Zero's going to play time, surely. There we go. He's just going to go. He sees it. He found him. He's found him.
No!
Zero gave him.
You just gotta run at them.
And Insight took them off.
Ugh.
This fight never fails, really, does he? I mean, he's quite.
That should be a guaranteed
Because he is that slower player for the side of Ultra. He's always
Guys, just
playing a little
play
bit on the
corners.
island, taking his time. But when he's put in these positions, it doesn't matter 1v2, 3. He's very much at an advantage in all his fields, doesn't it? Well played from inside. The first pick comes through, and Zero just shows him a little bit too much. That was an important round for Ultra. Stop the bleeding. 3-2 down is a lot different than 4-1. Let's see, can London bounce back after that one? Afro at 7-3. It's the SMGs who have been performing on both sides. Side of Royal Ravens, it's just about the advantage their way. Well, already looking for the wall back. Will be Ultra. All about getting control once again. Afro has pretty much been their kryptonite every time they've tried to make a move. We do it one more time with this map. We know how prolific he is, and Kleenex is in a lot of trouble. 27 health, but still alive. And then Afro again. His first bloods inside the Palace is really what both these two teams have been fighting over time and time again. Two of the best performers in the league, Afro and Kleenex, really going at it. At this moment in time, though, it's Afro with the advantage. London Royal Ravens with the advantage. Ultra now, though. If Ravens have to come to them, can Kleenex get out? Never going to happen. It's 2 versus 4 now for the side of Ultra. So much pressure they have to watch while they know a flank could be incoming. They know players, but Insight gets one already.
No.
Looking for this one, they have the chance through the ring. Can he find him? It's a 2
Oh.
versus 2. Ultra trying to hold this off, but Afro's already going to find one. Insight will be at the line.
Yes.
Found him in the back. And it was too
Yes.
many. Other Royal Ravens wrap that round up. And Ravens just closing that gap all the time there. Tightening their grip on the bomb site, and as soon as that first 2 kills comes in from Ultra, they're already butted up just a little bit. The Ravens can then put that pressure on. Because they had so much time as well. As soon as that bomb goes down, they find that next kill. It's a 4 versus 2.
Fun up.
That's full 45 seconds.
Running up,
all the way around.
up,
That's how you see these spikes come on through and finally secure that round.
London,
Inside
fun
the
up,
Royal Ravens 4
fun
to 2
up,
now.
London,
9 and
fun up,
3 out of Afro.
fun up,
Typically on a map that you would say is
London,
more
fun up.
AR oriented, more about your snipers. Your SMGs on side of Palace are going to do their job, and Afro is succeeding in this one at this moment in time. Opposition, no hit mark, they don't know he's here, but Finn's getting caught. Nasty takes him down. Is the train coming through though? There's Matt tries to find him, but Afro manages to sight again. Left alive.
Wow.
Alone, without a lot of chance. And the Ravens.
My man's gave him the
continue this
gun.
march towards victory. 5-2 now in the S&D. Sensational from Afro.
He gave him
Gotta say,
the
Gavan's
gun.
not a good player the best of times, but that's a third kill in the round coming through from Afro. Very well played from the Ravens. Matching aggression with aggression that time around.
Gave that man the
But how
gun.
big of a star has Afro been
He
on
said,
this stage?
"Get the
He's been
out my
phenomenal.
lobby."
S&D specifically. Of course, you would maybe say Bakaj has made more of his playing ground, but he's making Desert Siege as best as he can. 4 streak for him, 11-3. Ultra need to find a way back in somehow. He's looking for the needle. He put it in.
Oh, that was clean.
However, Afro instantly brings it back.
Let's go, Afro.
And Afro only shows him it for a second until he gets out. It's Afro every time. Every single time. The problem getting out for Ultra, though. Bomb's already committed over towards it. Makes it a little bit more difficult coming with the shot, so Afro gets taken down. That's off the barrel of your Ultra. This bomb will now go down as well. The flank kill is going to be huge, though, in sight. Is he going to check the corner? Oh, think of it. Zero find the kill. Now it's 2 versus 2. The bomb is down for Ultra. Can they hold? This is for the map. If they can try and just keep it alive, but Ravens.
That sucks up,
1 versus 2.
man.
If he makes it, they take the S&D.
We'll take next round.
He shuts down any
Yeah, we'll take
ending it right now. Ultra just about holding on. That flank kill that comes in from London make things maybe just a little bit more dangerous, but good hold in the end. The first picks coming in, we haven't seen that enough. Well, we haven't seen it converted enough for the side of Ultra. We've seen plenty of first bloods, but they haven't been going their way for the most part. 5-3 now, still people get from the side of Ultra. They got rid of Afro pretty early there, though, so going to help you along your way when he's 12-4. He has been the difference maker, but it's still a long way for Ultra. 3 more rounds for them without dropping 1. First blood would be disastrous. Losing the numbers would be disastrous, and even bomb down at this point could be just a step too far. Ultra a lot of pressure here, but Ravens are biting it on these neutral setups for the side of the Royal Ravens. May well work because it is neutral. Apart from the side of Afro, well, that neutral. But behind is gone. His flank pushes up, finds 2. It's now a 2 versus 4. But look at the positioning from Afro. This may help things out here. The map is split in a weird kind of way. It's all going to be on Afro. Has to be. He's looking for players. He's trying to figure this out. Oh, wow. Great position. Can he make a difference? He's going to find line, holds his fire, eventually finds Cammy. Ultra have to react to it. There's a snake in their midst. 30 seconds remaining here. Ravens have got so much to do, though. Vance in that position towards field may well be the dagger, but if a second kill can come out for his way, just at the wrong time, he turns around. Kleenex will find it. It's now an impossible situation for Zero. Zero's going to try and clutch this one up, but he finds Vance, and Vance takes him down. Slowly but surely, Ultra are making this S&D competitive. All 5. Braves are still on them. Clawing their way back. They're clawing their way into this one. First blood starting to be converted just that little bit more now. Very nice push there from Vance as well. When things are a little bit neutral, they know that London didn't have that map control. They're aiming down the sides. He pushes up and catches them on the transition into Palace. 5-4 though. Job's not done for Ultra. 1 round away from tying this up. Last time these 2 teams met on this map, it was around 11. Inside this and a side that doesn't happen very often. That would have helped them on their way to that round 11, but still, pressure coming in here from the side of Ultra and Palace. Kleenex is in. Can he do anything with it? That was something Ultra wanted to convert, just the tiniest of pixels away. So much pressure from London. You can see it on the minimap. They're going to try and figure out this puzzle that has been laid out before them. Anybody going to try it for it? He sees an elbow. It's not the people's. It's just Nasties. Assist there alive. It's going to be the pick! And there it is. Another first ball inside of Ultra. Royal Ravens are flapping just a little bit now. Keep an eye, though. Keep an eye. It's Afro! 5-1 brings it back to a 3 versus 3. The bomb will go down, though. Afro's been found down to a 2 versus 2. Bomb down now for Ultra.
2v2.
Felix on the flank. You see him? I think he did. I think he saw Gizmo as well. Gizmo finds one. He's not going to get it. It's going to be true.
Let's go!
Fails in the end. The London Royal
Let's
Yes, indeed,
oh.
and they go up 2-0. Got a little bit shaky for a second, but the Ravens lock in what was another statistically very good map for them. They would have known heading into this series, maps 1 and 2 do lean their way, and it will head into a small break.
Get Ultra out of here.
Good spot to be in for the Ravens, and just honestly, resilience time and time again. It felt like Ultra had a few more first bloods there. We'll have to actually check this one over. Just maybe the one or so, I would say, in the end. Yeah, 6-4. So, yeah, 2 more first bloods to the side.
Ultra
Ravens making their
out of here.
Yeah, they certainly did. Afro obviously just being a force to be reckoned
We
with.
win those.
14-6 on that S&D. And Ultra could potentially come back, but it just did not work out for them, even in the final 2 versus 2. It's always hard in those kind of positions. Ultra kind of had the setup there, but obviously Afro stayed alive, finds that kill around the side. It creates the chaos a little bit, doesn't it? It's always in that situation like, okay, we need to find Afro, we need to find Afro. You can't. The kills fall beside of London Royal Ravens, 2-0 up now. Oh, we're heading into control, so we might as well just come back with it. Yeah, there is a little bit of a silver lining there for London, for Ultra. It's the fact that control is next and London have been great on it. But we'll have to find out exactly what does happen in this game. Because while it's the first game of the major, it's a very, very good one. Ultra now under a lot of pressure. The Ravens will be wanting to lock this one down and move on to top 6. And they can do it with just one more map in this series. And I'm hoping every single map will be like the ones we've just seen. But we'll see you after this break of the Call of Duty League, major number 4.
I mean, who's this? Nah, I'm chilling. Wait, nah, I'm chilling. Who's this? Nah, I'm definitely chilling. That's a dude. Damn! Oh yeah, it's good. I can't do it. It's nice basketball. Yeah. Ah, I ran out of likes. It's tough.
Even better, got him on report.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Penalty 2. Zenny. Armor your eyes with Boss gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Beta number 4. We are here in beautiful New York. We got the crowd ready for Thursday. We've only just begun, but already pretty glorious. It's pretty popping in here. Let's be honest. It's been crazy. And well, what has also been crazy has been the games. Social media has been pretty crazy after that first one. It was a wild way to kick off the major. We hope you guys at home are enjoying it too. It was electric inside the venue. Like 250 to 2.9, mark number 1. But let's just relax a little bit now, because London Royal Ravens are 2-0 up and playing control. They have looked horrible under control. Let's be honest, they've just not looked good. Every other game on, they look fantastic. They nearly went perfect throughout their course to LAG match towards the end of the stage. I want to say you can put in maybe a small asterisk with all the issues that were going on around it. They lose a couple of games there, yes, of course, but control has been their bugbear all the way through the stage, yet to win one. So they need to turn around very rapidly. They really do. Obviously, not looking great for London, but possibly way back in for Ultra. They were pretty devastated with how those first two matches where the opportunity was there on the hard points. The S&D something we've seen them be pretty good at. Unfortunately, London has just looked better in this stage. The return of Gizmo has really turned around the way. Yeah, and we were surprised by that. We knew that Gizmo coming back in will probably help them. You know, things haven't necessarily been going their way. But to see such a change in the team, it has been the big surprise to me. I feel like Nasty stepped his game up. Zero has been lights out all stage, and Afro has just been doing Afro things. Gizmo said he just brought the vibes back. And maybe that's all it was. But the vibes need to be there now for Ultra. As we head into control, here are the top performers who are that Cammy there to the side of Ultra, Afro for London. I'm curious who's going to get it done here on map number 3, though. It's an interesting one because for all that London, they haven't looked under control. There's sometimes a point of, like, if you want to have a bad game mode, it has to be control, right?
Let's get this match underway.
But you do still need to fix it. Yeah, and maybe they just needed to get to land. Maybe they just needed to turn up at the major. But it would be an incredible time for London to win their first control in a while. Put Ultra down 3-0. Ultra. Well, we were thinking maybe when they come to land, it would be a little bit different. Unfortunately, London looked every bit as good as they did. And that was a lot of people's questions, wasn't it? Yeah. There was a lot of people were asking that question of London because I want to say, kind of rang true throughout the season. You know, the first event that we had, not the Kickoff Classic, but of course in Texas as well, in stage number 1. We came in a decent enough performance, but we didn't see the levels from Gizmo that we'd seen online. We didn't see the levels from Afro that we had seen online. But that transition has been somewhat seamless so far in this series. Can they keep it going, though? Do you think that when they're heading into it, that's going to be the question for me, will they be heading into this with such a defeatist attitude and sort of saying, well, look, our control's not great, we don't expect to win it? Or will they be heading into it, let's see if we can turn it around? 3-0 would be fantastic. Do they put it in the back of their minds already, heading into map number 4? I'm curious when the mindset is, I should say, heading into this one. But these guys, they will know how far that London have been on control, and they will be looking to take this one quickly.
If there's one thing Ultra can do, it's regain. Oh yeah, with a perfect opportunity for them to do so. Go on to a weak match for Ravens. Now, we have a chance to actually catch up with their coach, who's unfortunately not the venue today. Don't have to feel bad. But
he did say they haven't looked terrible in the scrims. London have been winning control for the scrims. It just has not translated to events or anything online in the qualifiers yet. So there is a glimmer of hope for the Ravens. Yes. I wonder if we will get there with them, though. I mean, there's so many times that we're picking up on mistakes and they're making too passive on the defense. I mean, we're not playing Berlin at this point, but so many times where you're defending that B side, you would expect the push up to start to come through, but they don't do that. They sit too passively and invite the pressure on. But then again, I spoke to him about that myself, and I was like, oh, okay, well, why are we doing this? He was like, well, we don't do it in practice. So it's just about putting it into play when we do get to the major. Let's see if they can do so here. A 3-0 would be massive for them. I think it would give them so much confidence. If they can start winning controls, Brycey, they become quite terrifying. Yeah, they certainly do, and obviously going into it straight away into the top 6. One of the things we haven't spoken about too much, because Ultra are technically in that bubble that we have highlighted going towards champs, but they are on the upper side of it. So a lot of people haven't paid it a lot of mind, but if they get no points here at the major, it is still very possible that they don't make champs, and that's the horrifying thing. And look at that losers bracket. How crazy does it look? I mean, you drop in, and it's not a good position to be in whatsoever. You'd never want to be down there, especially not in this event with some of those teams. You've got champions from every single major basically down there at this stage. You don't want to be down there. So if Ultra, as you said, if they walk away with 0 points, it becomes plausible that they don't make champs. It becomes plausible. Still, they're in a better position than many. Yeah, they are. But it becomes plausible. They are. It definitely does become a little bit plausible for them, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. There's still an awful lot of Call of Duty to go. I know the first 2 maps have been pretty spectacular between these teams, but we'll have to find out. This is the bubble we are talking about. You can see Ultra are not safe. And that's the pressure that's probably worrying them just a little bit. The Ravens win this game. They are more than safe. They are absolutely rocketing up the table. But for Ultra, they do not want to put their future, their opportunity into other teams' hands. They want these points. They need to get them in this tournament. It's a weight off their mind, and then they concentrate on moving forward to trying to win the tournament and potentially win champs. A storyline we've been pushing, and rightfully so. So many times we've seen some of these teams, and I think, your home crowd here will be behind the subliners when we do get there later on. They're the ones that really have to make that miracle run. For any of you guys want to go through any of the permutations, I think Chance put up a nice article. It's on Twitter there as well. We've talked about it there before. Such a talented right cast. Let's go there. Honest. Way too good looking as well. It's really annoying, actually. So it's awful, the talent that we have to work with. They make us work much harder than we should be able to. But speaking of working hard, going into this control, we are waiting just for this map to get ready. I know you're probably sick of listening to us already, but as we go into it, the London Royal Ravens, the cuts here, a 3-0 to kick off their tournament would be so huge. Just an unbelievable feat for them. They automatically rocket themselves into one of the favourites to win it. They came into this as the number 1 seed. This is 1 versus 8. Ultra, if you are familiar with how it worked from getting here, the very last game they had to wait to see the result. And it came down to a 3-way tie, and they had the advantage in the 3-way tie to actually make themselves get into winner's bracket. It was kind of a crazy way to get through. They didn't have a good qualifier, and we were wondering, is it just the qualifiers? Is it just a little bit of a downturn since Major 3? So far, they haven't told me that's the case. Yeah, absolutely not. I think, if you're looking at these 2 teams, though, and based on how Ultra played at their own home major as well, was it just the crowd buff? I wonder, we haven't seen that form from them online whatsoever. We haven't seen much of it here so far either. And, to be fair to them, let's be honest, map number 1 comes down to 1 or 2 kills. That's literally it. Of course, there would have been mistakes at different moments here and there throughout it, but if you really put it down, it comes down to the final couple of kills. So it could very, very easily be 1-1 here. Heading into control, they'd be feeling confident. It's a very, very different outlook on the series, that 1 point difference on Tusk, because they'll be feeling super confident heading into this one. But yeah, I think, the conversation about Ravens, you talk about that control. You see how good they've looked in their other game modes. If they can find a control here, a lot of people will be starting to think about tipping them for the win. So, to kind of flip this script for a second while we've got a second to talk, for Ultra, it could have been a very different story. Like, 1 point. London break through in unbelievable fashion on the halfway. They would be 1-0 in the series. The S&D was very, very close. There's opportunities for Ultra all over that map. Bearing in mind that Afro did have an incredible game on it. this could have been potentially a 2-0 Ultra. Going into this, we would have said it was over, right? Going into the control. But the issue being, of course, is that London have just looked like the better team. And I do apologise. I know you don't want to see us here at the moment. You want to see gameplay. Trust me, we do as well. We'll get to it as soon as we can. Yeah, I think, realistically, it's these small margins we talk about time and time again. The tiniest of margins and number one, of course, but small little moments here and there for Ultra and the Search and Destroy, yes, it does make the difference. Controller, as mentioned so many times, Ultra will be looking to try and take this scalp as soon as they possibly can, as quickly and as efficiently as they possibly can, and just head into map number 4. But I agree, I kind of go back to what the Desper said. This map set really does suit the London Royal Ravens. I think everyone would have seen it and plausibly said a 3-1 victory is definitely on the card. So I'm very curious about London's control and see if they have fixed any of it. It has to be different.
It's funny, really, because everybody's kind of predicting like a 3-1 win if you're picking for London, because nobody has faith in the control. Nobody has faith in it. There have been some criticisms saying about maybe they're playing a little bit too defensive, that they're turtling up a little bit, they're playing too passive on the defense. But we know one of the things that is very important in control at the moment is having somebody hit those flanks, trying to get them off the respawn, farm those players, keep them staggered, essentially, not allowing attacking teams to bunch up and get the execution in. With London against Ultra are very good at those executions. They're very good at being all together. I'm going to look through some of the Search and Destroy those. We get this lobby up and running. And Ravens, honestly, Afro was just an absolute enigma throughout that game. Finding his kills in mid, it just helped out so much. I wouldn't care, Ultra had a good start, a very convincing defense, and that's really where you would put a lot of your stock in them. Those long-range gunfights is always going to be zero against Insight in a certain kind of way. Insight just didn't really get going. He did have that 1 versus 2 to bring them to a better position. He did have those moments, but throughout the rounds, there wasn't too many of those first blood picks that we kind of associated with that helped the team out, and they didn't really convert much of those first blood picks when they did find them as well. Yeah. And it's just been the case in the stage for Ultra. It's not been really able to find what they want, and relying on some of their teamwork to try to get through. Had to work, see through trying to get a flank here. This could have been huge for them. Unfortunately, wasn't going to work out. And Insight, they call him the clutch master, but in that game, he was left alone repeatedly and got one of them. Now, the funny thing is, clutches aren't really supposed to happen. That's one of the things, it's a statistical anomaly. You aren't supposed to be able to clutch. Trading should always come through. Insight does it more than most, and I feel like we sometimes give him unrealistic expectations. Like, he's at the line to 1 versus 3, he'll probably get it. Yeah, it's unbelievably difficult.
It's very, very difficult to find yourself winning these situations time and time again. It's unbearable to be on a team that imagine, to be honest, when you see him there. Is it something that you start quaking in your boots a little bit? I wonder, but this series is not done by any stretch of the imagination. Control, we're getting into it. Issues are fixed. The crowd
Let's go.
is nice
On a tough
noisy.
game.
It's only Thursday as well. My goodness.
We're now on our 3-hour delay.
A great series to kick things up here as well. But can Ultra back into this? It's going to be tough.
Fudge.
Fudge. Well, the first step of a long road for Ultra. Now speaking here on Control.
Fudge. I like fudge.
Already inside going towards A, and so it's the obvious push up. Side of Raven, secure this one in, see where you can get going. Good conversion to the side of Ultra, and honestly, we're going to be looking at the back of Afro. If he can continue these performances, Tuckin is going to be a map that he will have a lot of success on.
Let's go,
Afro. A lot of
Afro.
success is what Ravens are having here over towards A. Kills coming their way. Kills then going the way of Ultra. I see we're trying to lock this one down as quickly as they possibly can, give them as much time possible to hit over towards me.
You see already the try goes for the nade, the Ultra rain down once again, and Cammy wins the gunfight. They've got the full tick onto A. The objective for Ultra now is to try and get as many kills off this respawn as they can. Keep London pinned back as far as possible. Get versus Kleenex and Kleenex now on a 4th streak. He's forcing London into a position they do not want.
Someone shut him down.
Kleenex now on a 4th spree himself. He will fall.
Let's go.
Cammy now can't find anything here either. Now
Let's go.
Finding the kills over towards A. Well played Afro with the gunfight win, and that's
Let's
going to be
go.
locked in now for the side of the Royal Ravens. He's not yet to find a kill, but he's going all the way around here to find Cammy, and he gets him. It's a huge push already. London are in. They are on to B. They have the numbers. They have the opportunity. Inside already shuts one down. Zero versus Kleenex. So they lose every gunfight in the end. Ultra have a second to breathe, and they will push up as far as possible. We'll catch up then, you know. We'll get there. Batson coming now. Looking to try and lock this defense in as best as they can. London trying to find a way through 6 kills in the lead for the side of Ultra. In a very good spot. Now they're looking to try and hold this down as long as possible. Still bleeding the kills. The Ravens are losing bodies. It's 18 to 10, 17 to 10. But it only takes one break time. So it does take on control, doesn't it? It's very much so. That's what the fat lady is singing. Zero coming out. Just making sure they can try and find something, but inside Bats Kleenex all combining. That's another push. Just completely deferred from the side of Ultra. London Royal Ravens can't find a breakthrough. They're still looking. They're still trying to get those one. And Ultra, they just need to continue to trade all over the map. 5 lives for London. 4 lives for London. Absolutely flawless from here on out to have the opportunity to take this first round. They haven't really looked likely. Not even remotely. Push going to start coming on through. I'll find 2 though inside the match, but still. 3 lives remaining on the side of London. A little bit scary now, possibly. He's been found, but he gets a kill. And now it's a 2 versus 8, a 1 versus 7. And almost makes the kill. Afro not able to do anything there in the end. And trying to Ultra take that first round in control. Solid from them. Really good. Just forcing themselves up the map. London can't get themselves anywhere near it. And Ultra lock it in nice and easy. Well, first blood to the Ultra, but it is a defense on Tuscan. It doesn't really mean the most. Yeah, it doesn't. But at the same time, London Royal Ravens didn't get any ticks over towards me. They didn't even look likely. So for Ultra, it's confidence for them. Can they find anything in themselves on this attack inside Kleenex? Combining well, those kills will fall on through over towards A. Same story as what London tried to do. Get a hold of A nice and early. And plan the attack, push over towards B. Oh, they're still looking. Still cooking. Canary 5-1 towards Midchurch. And it's all going to be Ultra at the moment. 5 kills to nothing. They're going to be making a move for it. Gizmo, that 5-1 back to it as well. Zero gets the second. They are going to shut down B before Ultra have an opportunity. Nasty getting another one. A. Ultra do not have A yet. They haven't been able to answer this push by London. Kleenex eventually finds 2. A will go to the side of Ultra. Finds the third. He dances through the middle. And it's Ultra with the pressure. Can London hold on? Yeah, they don't have the bodies whatsoever. Kleenex
Come on,
there is going to be massive as well. Ultra will start tightening that grip. Well, let's see. London have a lot of work to do as Ultra come hounding them all the way through. Let's find out how they are feeling, though, with London Royal Ravens listening.
Let's go. Big kills. Let's go. Ooh, let's go. We could possibly.
Well, the Royal Ravens just making sure they deflect all the punches from Ultra. You can hear it. Figuring out with the small talk exactly how it affected. Ultra have lost a lot of lives. And now we're trying to get over this live advantage and get into the point. And if I'm Ultra, you need to be careful of Gizmo here. 5-3 for him. So that might be something that they can potentially use on attack if they can't get a hold of this live on. Inside with the shots into 0 though. Is there maybe one final opportunity?
SG for the side of Toronto Ultra with 30 seconds left to go. Looking for an Ultra are going to be in. Do they have the players they need to get it as well? They get two, but not the third. It comes back to it. And that's bad for Ultra because they need every single kill. It's another find it. They're going to stop the clock. It's a 6 versus 6. Onto the point, it's shot. That's more players going down. The Ravens may have found a route through. Afro trying to hold down. Afro!
Oh my God!
Unbelievable stop there at the end. Oh my God! 3 versus 4. London are going flawless. Just when they needed it. Ultra, they tease us. They showed us maybe they can make it. It's not bringing back to 2 versus 2. It's not over. It's not over at all. Good pass by Kleenex as well. It's 1 versus 2. Zero has to get there. He has to find these kills. He's looking for them. He has to get up to the point. 6.5 seconds and a dream! And Ultra walk away.
Way,
They take it. They're 2-0 up in the control. And the Ravens, this could be a continuation of their lack of form so far in control.
And we've seen the collapse starting to happen. You know, Ultra find that break come through. It looks a little bit dangerous for Ravens, but they find the kills coming back. But it comes down to Ultra clutching up. 2-0 up now in this control. Onto the defensive side. We may well be heading into map number 4 a lot sooner than maybe advertised. Ravens now trying to find something over towards A. Ultra getting aggressive. It feels like that swagger might just be back in the Toronto side. Well, they found a couple of kills to begin with. Obviously, London just trying to capitalize on it. Can they get to another one? And London regains. Gets one now. She's taken alive though. Stops the clock. Keeps the progress coming. They will need every single second to try and crack that nut that is B on this map. I can purchase over towards A though. 2 ticks are already locked in. Inside 6 free. Let's keep an eye on this. He can secure a 7. As he often does. And they may well be Ultra on their way as that 7 is, of course, locked in. Glide bombing high now to the side of inside. Kills coming in. And I'll tell you what, the number of Ravens, mate. Struggle here. Being forced back. Look at the life difference as well. Gunfight from Afro. Ridiculous from him. Oh, I think we've got you in the venue now. We got you now. We're good. Come back up tonight. It's all good. Afro that making his way through. Looking for the second kill. He gets it.
Yeah.
2 big for Afro.
Yep.
And London are going to try and get something going. They've already got the shot. Afro again. 6 straight for him. Inside's going to go down. They may pull in the glide here. Straight away. They need the breathing room. Not going to get it. Right, not going to get it. Right, going to get it. London are in. Afro's calling it in.
Has to call it in because the pressure's going to start coming from the side of Ultra. You need this round. The glide bomb finds nothing. It clearly found the kills in the point, and it's all falling apart for Ravens. But a hellishly good push. 2 ticks are in.
Did it sound like how long it's going to be?
And Kleenex managed to get through the gaps and shut down London. Afro was still in the glide, and they found nothing with it. It could have been all over for this round, but it still breathes. They will need Afro to do it again to find their way into this 3 points.
Sounds good.
Have to take their time here. There's still a minute and 15 seconds. You need one.
Sorry guys, I had to take that
decent
phone
push.
real quick.
Ultra not allowing them any room right now.
This map
as well.
pretty much chalk.
Inside still has that ace and
Can't really do nothing off of it.
Off that glide bomb. He'll call it in if and when needed. 2 kills for Nasty Dog. Here we go. This will be no stopping the point. He's got the Ultra to adapt. Unfortunately, the kills are not coming through for them. Afro again! He's trying to do it, but he gets his own 3. The problem now for London is while they have a little bit of time, they do not have the lives, they do not have the position, and they've got to get through inside. Inside is 22 and 10. 4 lives for London. And each one of them must be spent in the most efficient way possible. It has to be pretty much
Damn,
3 lives
Kleenex
remaining, 2 lives
got
remaining.
30 kills.
Ravens. They had a 7 miss, but Ultra will shut it down. We said the controllers being an issue. Unless a minor miracle can come through here from the side of Zero. It's not going to happen. That is dominant in the control as we expected. The woes continue for London. Ultra back into the series. Ultra. It's kind of a game out, but you know what? London didn't even seem that upset. It's kind of like, yeah, we've done that a lot this split.
just not been able to find really anything going on the control. Even with Afro doing everything he could to break it open, they just couldn't hold on for it. Like, he went into the glide, he caught everything out. London did not find the kills they needed. Yeah, and that's the sort of situation. How many times have we seen it when it is a must-win round? The teams have this small advantage of that glide while it gets called in, but that's then a body that you do not have firing. And somebody like Afro not shooting his gun at people is sometimes not something you want if you're the side of the right range, but you've got to call that in. And the fact that he finds nothing with it is always a little bit disappointing. But that was the moment when maybe Ravens could have gone back into it, because then they're under defensive round themselves, which is, a little bit more plausible than an attack. But there were at least moments there for Ravens. The clutch round that Ultra came up with, Ravens would have said should have been 1-1. This moment right here, of course, it was a 4v4. Ultra come through far too easily. And it's just curious. So there was at least, I want to say, flutters of hope from the side of Ravens. A 3-0 scoreline is still not great, but there's still moments here and there that they could have possibly done something.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me now that we've seen it again is that moving on in this tournament, regardless of what happens in this series, it is going to be a potential match for every other team that has to play, that they might go, all right, no matter what happens, if we get one of the first half points for S&Ds, it is a statistic possibility that they will go up in this series, and that is not where you want to be for London. Having a weakness, don't get me wrong, if it's control, it's probably the best weakness you can have. We know how when it was like Ultra and their half point, they could never get a game down, and we know Blaze's issues on S&D way in the past. Controls in one game, you're like, okay, it's just once, it is mid-series, it can be potentially annoying to have that weakness.
It's that swing though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that moment where you're 2-0 up, you're cruising in the series, you lose about convincingly like that. It is a potential momentum swing, especially in such a huge game like this. It might just be the first game of the week, but it's winner's bracket. It's important. You want to make sure you stay here as long as possible. If you go up against a rival, if you're like, all these boys know each other really, really well, it could be that momentum swing that Ultra needed to get them back into this series. But again, the whole map set, we're leaning towards London, but everything apart from the controls.
Yeah, you are right. It's becoming this London 1 seed. Everybody should be realistically taking them coming forward. But we have whether or not Ultra will be better on land. And I feel like it's disingenuous for me to sit here and say they don't, because the first match was halfway, it was 1 point. The S&D, obviously, Afro again, bring up huge numbers for the Ravens. This game does rest a little bit on a knife edge. Neither team has looked completely dominant, apart from on the controls, obviously. But fortunately, we don't play control again. We're into a half point. So if you're the Ravens, you're happy with that. And then that's a half point that they beat Ultra on the last 2 times. The last time that they actually went up against each other on the stage, as we mentioned, it was the first game back for Gizmo. And it was a surprising win, wasn't it? That Search and Destroy last time around was a lot closer as well as the Jack, also around 11, where Gizmo finds an ace to get Royal Ravens in the driving seat. Similar story, though. It's looking like a 3-1 for Ravens if they can close out this half point. And it's one as a lot of us have kind of been predicting. We would have thought they're going to take the win. Well, here's something to try to figure out how these two teams are feeling here on the main stage. To a wonderful New York crowd. They're making some noise for us in the venue all the way through this. And you can see the coaches on stage as well. They're figuring out, they're making sure to remind their players of the fundamentals and what they need to get this win on the next match. There'll be no. I said, where is the mindset for the side of Ravens coming into this? They know that their control has been put. They head into it and just sort of say, well, okay, yeah, we lost it, so what? Is that their mentality? Or are they still really trying with it? Are they then going to be like, oh, we're downbeat about our control? Hopefully that mentality is in a good place yet, because I don't like, look, let's be honest, a lot of people questioned it after what happened last week. They were in a good spot against LAG for delays. Obviously, nobody's fault in particular. It doesn't help them at all, and they seem to crumble very, very quickly. This New York crowd has been fantastic. Can they be fantastic a couple more times though this week? I imagine they'll continue it, Bryce. They will do. Here are our top performers going into this next one, hard point wise. Inside the 1.02, he has really stepped up his respawn. Been very good for Ultra when they need it. Gizmo 1.08, obviously, return of the prodigal son for the Ravens. It's what they were waiting on, and it has made a difference. But speaking of difference, it's time for Berlin Hardpoint. This could be the last map, or it could be the catalyst for a reverse sweep. Only time will tell. Both these teams in very good form heading into this map. London, 4 of the last 5 have went their way. Ultra, 7 of the last 8. So the confidence will be there for both teams, but Ultra need it most. If you're ready to be on top on the preferred side, there is a P1 first. We're looking to lock it down. That's who you'll say that back towards the back. Caused some problems. Still getting the time here at the moment, Ultra, but they know London is close. Here with the first up, that's enough. Nothing breakthrough. Trades going all over P1. Gizmo comes to reinforce. Ultra with the good spawn side. Coming on through, especially towards P1. And statistically, it's definitely more beneficial for some of these teams as they continue to hold just about as they trade things out. But when it does come down to Berlin Hardpoint, starting on this blue side that Ultra on is 62% of the time, that team is coming away with the win. And that's down to the
Afro, let's go.
Heading over towards P2, but London, best P2 team on the game. This is going to be one of the reasons why. Zero just trying to hold down that streak, not let any players from Ultra put the pressure on the P2 yet. London aren't going to be in quite at the moment. They are waiting for positioning. They are trying to make sure they have a clean setup and they can win these trades in the point. Zero eventually comes through. Clean X looking for it. Picks the wrong corner. Zero still alive. Flying! And Cammy eventually takes him down. Good break coming in from Ultra. London Royal Ravens and the team you talk about when it does come down to breaks. Ultra find a nice way through. At the side of spawns, they want to keep a hold of. You'll not see Cammy move too much further forward. I imagine he wants to try and lock that down as fast as he can. But inside the point, it's inside. He's the only one who can find a kill, though, as Ravens come flying back into this one. Still a bit of a trade fest back and forth, but look at the top of your screen. London Royal Ravens are yet to break 10 points. Going to get through back to try and find one more. He's going to find 2 players in the hill. He will not win that gunfight. Now, the most important thing is to keep an eye on that minimap. Afro already in the fire. He's trying to open this up for his team and get the pink through. 45% of their time, London Royal Ravens are breaking hills, and it's now to this man. 1, 2. Oh my God, Afro! So it's a back home point the thing. But now they open up the door now for the side of Royal Ravens. Gizmo off this side. Spawns in for London. Toronto just crumbling away here. Royal Ravens are found a route through. Afro has made a difference. He's 10-5. They've broken in. They've completely and totally taken Ultra out of this one as he continues to get that motor running. Afro will not let them have any chance. And eventually they're going to go through somehow, some way. Ultra find their way in. Straight through fire. It's just good fights on one. Very, very easily by the side of Ultra. They find the breakthrough. The Royal Ravens now have to do it all again. The hard work was done. You've got to lock in the time. They're not going to be able to. Small Cammy up on the side of London. Ultra were pretty much dug in initially. Damage limitation maybe is what you can take away from it there, but they would have wanted probably a little bit more than that when the breakback came in. Yeah, they're going to have to try and figure it out there. They're going over to trade. This can be a bit of a spotty hill to get a lot of time on, but they do have the setup in and the map control. Look how far up they are going to be pushed. They'll be unwilling to cede any points over to Ultra here. It's one of those hills that teams have started to attack to just a little bit better as the game has gone on. It has become one of those that's a little bit easier to find the time. Nastido gets caught with his pants down, and all of a sudden Ultra finding a way through. These kills are starting to come on through. What side am I watching here? Because usually it's set. It's a great aim for London. That is a flawless one for the side of Ultra. They do have Nasty left towards the back here. He may be something that can help Warriors get back through. And back and forth we go. Nasty in an unbelievable position has helped London retain some semblance towards this hard point as he bounces along the train, eventually gets found. London looking to push out. It's going to be 0 out towards back train, and he stays alive. They're just causing issues for Ultra, who just want to lock this one up and throw away the key. Good sign. Side of Roller Ravens. Keep an eye on that.
Alright, we're gonna go make someone eat while this game finishes. I got back.
And over towards P5, they wanted to get those fights coming in through, but not going to work out. It's all about this rotation around towards P1. Now, how often do we talk about it? Fire control on this hill is paramount if you want to win Bill in. That's good. Try to lock it in as best as they can, yeah. Good fights inside the middle will be influential, but still, looks like Ultra will have the spawns that they want to keep a hold of here in 45 seconds. I say that, never mind, an overextension. Well, they're trying to get a little bit of points on the P5 there and make London come to them. You can't get all the way round to this point. You soak as much as possible and try to get some points. And Cammy and Intro went into gunfight. It's going to be seen. And will go down. The fans win another one. The points slowly but surely ticking up for Toronto. But what they really want is this time on P1. This could be huge from Cammy, though. 20 seconds remaining. Kill on the Nasty as well. Pressure from Secret's going to come through and he should be dealt with. But the rest of Ultra, as he opened the door for them, not quite yet. Insight is there to try and walk through it. Afro will be the first one here, though, for the side of Royal Ravens as we do come there over towards that second rotation now. London are inside, like Ultra, very much here. Looking to break in, though, but it will be London with the bodies. See inside, it's waiting to try and kill the Gimlo, gets a huge two towards the back. And Ultra will have to reset, figure out this push. Wait a minute. Oh, I was going to say, around the back would have been Bats. It's not going to be London in a dominant position. Yeah, it has to be front door. Ultra got a lot of their points on that first rotation over towards his hill. I think it was around 40 or 50 or so. They were in a really nice spot. Ravens trying to answer back with a good hold of their own. It's been good so far. 20 seconds over towards the back. Gap has closed quite significantly. Ultra trying to find a breakthrough. The grenades will help Bats. Next, here we go. Gets mobile then fall. It's clean from Ultra. Nicely done. It's only Afro who can answer, but Ultra find a break with 20 seconds to go. Rotation over towards P2 incoming. Bats. A little bit going on 4 3, trying to stay alive. It's a kind of a rotation. It's been phenomenal from the side of Ultra. Look at it. We're there. The fight's going towards London. Phoenix looking to just hold this down. He knows his teammates are going to be a bit of a distance away. So it's going to be a bit of a hide and seek for it. But winning 2 gunfights so far does give the opportunity to get back into it. So it takes down Insight. Still trying to stay alive here, Kleenex. He knows more fights are coming to water. And Nasty bounces through. Cammy gets one back again. And Ultra do have a little bit of positioning so far. They do. They got the lead as well. That control does go over towards Ultra eventually, but it was pretty much a trade press that just is in the end. Cammy finding a gunfight around the outside. Ravens now position themselves over towards Dogs. They yet sort of spring into life in this game, it feels, Pricey. It feels quite flat from the side of Ravens. Ever since that rotation over towards P3 that they broke so easily on the back of Afro, trying to find it here over towards P2. Runner-Roy Ravens will have that rotation if they want to take it nice and early. It's going to be a decent lead here from the side of Ultra. It'll be around 70 or 80 by the time we do get over towards P3. That's going to try and do what Afro did, and somehow he slipped the net through. My goodness. Oh, I can't believe it keeps doing this. I think he might be found at some point, but no, he is sitting deep. London trying to figure out exactly what is going on. And the inside can we get a couple of kills? Now he's going to go all the way back and eventually find him. Wipe that sweat off your brow here for London. They find what could have been a very, very dangerous player as they look to lock this in. Round the back though, here goes Kleenex. The SMGs are breaking things up, but the ARs are there as well. Momentarily Nasty is left all alone. Spawn out, Ultra break. It's happening time and time again. Royal Ravens cannot hold on to a hill yet. Oh, hold on a minute. They're trying to put the pressure on. Flat and fire are going to be where this catalyst comes. Zero goes to the gunfight from towards the front. Bats is equal to it. Players from London are going to be in fire. They're trying to hold them off here, but it will be the better position for Ultra. You can already see Kleenex said, hey, 20 seconds ago, I'm on the rotate. Yeah, he's already away. London will find that breakthrough. They need that scrap time. Ultra now ticking into around 200 points. Kleenex is here. He will be all alone for a momentary time, and Afro will relieve him of that pressure. Looking for each other inside. Don't have Afro control here. Just trying to find it, and of course, Afro wins the gunfight again. They needed this one. London got broke so easily last time we went to train. I'm looking not to repeat those past mistakes. And Afro is doing everything he can to hold on. They start stepping up with these rotations, with these setups. Because Ultra just finding their way through so many times and so easily. It's another break that comes up through. Nasty. Lines them both up though. Scabby will then fall. London trying to fight from the back foot here, but Ultra keeping them up the point is absolutely phenomenal from them. They'll happily take that one, and they've just been a step ahead, it's felt, throughout this whole game. Can they find a few more moments here and force this to a map number 5? Well, can they do one back, find another? No real points being scored at the moment. London going to still have that small control. Cammy jumps on for a couple of seconds. But London will take that 10. And it comes down to P5 and P1. London are not out of this. It's a very close game for them. So how goes the gap here over towards P4? Something we spoke of there before, they're the best P2 team on the game, they're the best P3 team on the game. We have not seen any evidence of that throughout this map. And the scoreline is showing Ultra have walked away with the time gear and heading in towards P5. They've got the spawns over towards Fire. They'll lock that in as best as they can. They're also 40 points away from sending us to map number 5. And this is where Ultra have to hold their composure and where London need to be great. Looking for it. Oh, these are good fights to win for the side of London. It's good time for them as well. Rotations starting to come in. A little bit of presence over towards P1. Things may get a bit scary. London are coming back into this one. Gizmo, it's a huge kill for him. Looking down, P1 is finds a second. A 5-streak for Gizmo. And they may be seconds away from finding everything they want here, London. I'd stay alive. The ticket would have been huge, but he gets taken down by Nasty. London in. Gizmo still going. Keeper attempt and eventually Cammy will cut him down. And it did so much work. The benefit for London is the point they got to P5. If they can find a break now, it will put Ultra on the back foot. Afro could do with winning this gunfight up against Insight. Finds it as well. Is that going to be a break here now for the side of the Royal Ravens? Kleenex overextended. Can he be in a position to maybe flank here? Nasty Zero find the kills. Vanstein needs to get inside and slow this one down. London in a really good spot to bring this one back to inside the point. London have done it. Could be one. It's a fight, one goal, but it's not enough. You can see Ultra still miles away. Afro cuts down 1-0. Throwing everything he can and gets to 3 streak. And Ultra have a decision. Do we go or do we stay? And it looks like they're going to go. They're not going to win the gunfight for this one. London will take the lead. Gizmo was the one that broke things open there for the side of London, who, as you said, will find themselves in the lead for pretty much the first time in this game at the most important moment. But let's take a breath now as Ultra have this setup. A couple of good kills coming on through. London need to do it all again. It may well be from train side as Nasty will find one over there, but the break needs to come. Ultra are dug in deep, and they are 20 points away from the win. Cammy finds one. Ultra are trying to get this and lock it down in every single way, and they get 3. They're back in the lead, 15 seconds left to go. And here come London. One last roll of the dice. Inside finds 1-0's trying to get the player inside the hill. They're firing in. They're getting it. But the purple wall is holding them back. It gets on Afro. Let's get that trade coming through eventually in 2 more seconds. And Ultra are going to hide it. Afro cannot get it. We're going to a match number 5. We said before, Ultra and London does not disappoint. And the start of Major 4 turns into a map number 5. Fantastic game on these two. Felt like just a battle of the breaks, and so often we've talked about London being that team who can find the breaks, but their holds there were not good enough. A very respectable comeback towards the end, and they found that break that we didn't see them find throughout the whole game over towards P1, but is not enough. 21 game. Ultra will take it. We see him at number 5. And honestly, it never felt like London were going to come back and win that, though. Even when they were in it, it's always felt like Ultra were in control throughout that whole game. And I've got to highlight this at this point because we've spoken about it a lot, but it's worth reminding Afro has been lights out for London. He was lights out again in that halfway, but it was not enough. And you are right. I think the problem for London was they weren't holding in the position that we expected them to. The breaks were coming in very easily for Ultra, a 20-point difference. We saw London have a great second half of it, but it doesn't matter. Because I tell you what is happening now. It's a 2-2. That means it's a map number 5. That means we have an opportunity to see glory for either of these two teams on the main stage at the Major. London started off great. They won a halfway with 1 point. They got into the S&D, and Control let them down. And Ultra have jumped on that possibility. They see the light at the end of the tunnel, and a reverse sweep is possible, but we'll all find out after the break.
Are you ready to cook for Easter? Gotta show you. Yeah, get a couple deep breaths in, boys. This game ain't not skull. Yeah, I think I can definitely catch that one.
We're in the game. Yeah, we're already in. Well, no delays.
Right. Sit, sell, off-season easy. Sit, sell, off-season easy. Sit, sell, off-season easy. Sit, sell, off-season easy. Off-season sell, easy. Off-season easy. Off-season zero.
Well, it's under trace effect. Did they have that back in World War II? Yeah, I've seen that in World War II documentary. Yeah, it's like Snoop Dogg.
It's freezing. We're about to cook something, man. Can you just have like an SD in the back where we just stick all it in there? What's ASCII? A cooler. Just put a full glass of water and just like off the each map, just everyone just there and just sit myself dripping. I'm defrosting my pan right now. Only my right hand though. I should go like an ice pack or something. No touch.
Reply if you're a cool person. If not, that's fair enough. You're cool.
I was on university internet. That was the best.
In my dorm room.
Last week was my dad's birthday when we played London, and all I wanted for his birthday was us to win. No, it's okay. Because today is my mom's birthday. And she wants us to win, so we can redeem ourselves.
We worked out last night, and the gym was closed. Yeah, so I sat there. I'm sleep right now. Right now. I'm woke right now. You twisted. I gotta go to bed.
She went like that. What? Just keep moving forward. I'm back with you. How you as a team? Starting. We'll see about that, ref.
I just moved today, so tomorrow I'm smoking. Who's down? I just move it to next year. I'll come back next month.
Rock or not prepare, maybe not ready for it. Dash gets out of dodge. Does he know that somebody is hot on his heels? By the time Dashi left, forward clutch is a 1 versus 3 if he can make it. Bomb is now going down, surely. Can Dashi do it again? That's down. Where is the man? It's a 1v1 insight. There's a toe spin. Oh, Dashi! Over and over again is clutching against Ultra. He's trying to get it as well. They're back into it. Afro to the middle flag. He's looking for the players find the two-piece. And then now come out for spawn. Afro's going for the channel because of course he is. And Sally have dropped as well. He's got a lot to work with. As you said, Rocker not prepared, maybe not ready for it. Dash gets out of dodge because he knows that somebody is hot on his heels. He's got an Australian Shepherd ready to take him down. Now for one. He's out of red. Truly a predator. Sally's nice moving through. He's on the ball. He's going to get the ball. Gravity with the first ball. They seem to have some kind of divine purpose to drive this all home. It's a 2v2. Gravity was the fight on the flank. All it comes down to is Hatch. At some point, you gotta run out and check this bomb. And Baby Gravity up and hit the ball for Baby Gravity guns him down. Absolute gutting, and now it's only going to be Sally left in a 1 versus 3. A technical 1 versus 4 if he can make it. But this is a disaster. There's out. Someone just committed to a top in the bomb. There's no way everyone should be looking for where Sullivan is on the map.
And now he makes it a manageable play. 1v2, you know that one player is flanking. Gets a couple shots out of the back, but accuracy isn't a problem. Huge one-on-one. Now you have to get him. Stallion with the 1v4 for Atlanta FaZe. It's time. Who's ready to go? Who's ready to go back? Who's ready to go to champs? Who's ready? Are you ready? I'm most definitely in. I'm ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Yeah, the best. I'm the best. You know. We're balling. It's ring time, babies. No.
Where's Facts?
You know we're winning, right? We're winning. We're in here now. Oh, you know we're right for another round. This is for all of you. I'm here for it all. Well, good.
Yeah, didn't you hear we're running it back to Cali? We're going back.
I'll be there. Are you gonna be there?
It's gonna be a good pass.
See you there.
Mark. Told you about her.
Just come see him. Hit the quick show. On to Vance. So that was 40 seconds left. Vance is going to push right across. Oh, What was that? Biggest threat on the map. He's trying to make an answer. I don't know. 4 map position. That's kind of crazy. What? Just come see him. Oh, there you go. Point of view. We can't get to see him. She's well. He gets it down. 1v1. Dashi versus Vivid. Dashi's going to see him as well. Vivid. He's telling at a time at the same time. Absolutely incredible. Zero Surge, you will take it. Chris now set up for the kills. He's got himself an AR. He's got himself 2. Here comes the third. And oh my god, the third from down under guns him. Towards the other side, I say that's letting in. I'm going to try to find a hole. It's only going to be 0. 2 V's and 3. Finds it eventually. Oh my god. And they have managed to crack through this all off the back of one man. That's 6 now for 0. Holding it down when they need him the most. Inside coming to the gunfight as well. 0 keeps going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are live in mate number 4. And we did take a little bit of a break there to fix the audio because, I'll be honest, at home we love you, in the venue we love you. We want to make sure everything is right for this finale. It's currently 2-2 between these teams. We're going to map 5 for London. It's shaving off disaster for Ultra. The reverse sweep is on the cards. On the issue, the audio listening. Yeah, sorry, but I can't do anything. Yeah, I can't do much about that now. But yeah, what a series this has been. Very much so these SWAT online games always deliver. We are delivering here online. My goodness me. We're here to map 5. I think I've watched the end of that one about 15 times already. That was daft. My throat still haven't recovered. Hell, blew my voice out that very first map online. That's it.
Alright, we back, Liddy. Let's get it.
The crowd is ready for it. Everyone is looking forward to it. Is that
Liddy, let's get it.
We'd like to get back 5. Okay, map number 5 is on the cards. Hello, everybody. Yes, we're way up here in this beautiful theatre. And what a stage. Map 5. Let me get back on a point here. Hurry. I've introed map by about 12 times. Map 5. Between these two, the winner will move on to top 6. That's 20 points in the bag. If they can get it, it doesn't matter that much for London, but it matters a whole lot more for Ultra. And of course, being top 6 of the major, that's obviously the big prize. Continuing through the winner's bracket. But who wins out of this one? Ton, we were talking about the cards before this series. Let me know how you feel.
Honestly, I mean, we've barely seen Ultra play. Barely. But then they put it up against Optic recently, and they were really good. They were really, really good. It felt like Optic at every single moment had to coach up, had to find a way to get it back into the game. They did so on multiple occasions, but Ultra were in the driving seat throughout it. Run Aurora Ravens, though, I mean, we've seen one of the best solo performances in a Search and Destroy across Vanguard from Afro on this map. They are going to need to shut it down. Kleenex is going to have a game here if they want to stop Ravens on this map. But there you go, there's the statistics. The defensive win percentage there for Toronto, but there's not much of a sample size to see from it. Before we've seen them play it up against Optic, we haven't seen them touch it since May.
This could be the difference. Just how to split hairs on this map. London could have ended it. Control was let them down and opened the door for a reverse sweep. Optic did not win that S&D, something they were famed for. But it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Statistics, feelings, facts. It's all out the window. Because one map has to go, and the better team will take it. Here we go then. Crowd, if you can keep this up all weekend, we're going to have a good time. 3 more days of this to go, and keep your voice as we head into a map number 5. The Carge S&D. Things get a little bit crazy between Toronto Ultra and London Royal Ravens every single time. And let's just do it on the craziest map of all. Well, here we go. This may be a little bit of a slow start for these two teams. They feel each other out. Let's stick around where to apply the pressure. But now
Let's go, Nasty.
Takes down Kleenex. They double Davis hit him already. River has not gone their way. And Ultra will have to figure out how to break this. But man of the moment potentially could be Afro for Ravens. Let's see if he can lock this down. First one coming in from the side of Ravens is important. And they are just offering absolutely nothing to Ultra here. Not even a sniff of a kill comes on through Afro. There'll be a cold line for that. Here comes the push. Just wait. Trying to figure out if they get through here clean. Afro just laying like a rock and still not seeing anything. Ultra basically stepping on his head. Oh, but I haven't seen him. Did he see it? He didn't see it. 25 seconds left to go. One of these two teams is going to have to do something here. It is. Remember the advantage in numbers. Ultra got to do something. You've got to do something. He's going to find a kid who's going to find fans in the hat. The kill comes through. Kenny gets 1. They're still telling us 3. The problem is time. Ultra have no time. Inside finds a second. It's a 2 versus 2, but the bomb is miles away, and Afro eventually comes into play. Finds inside. Thank you.
Let's go, Afro.
And the time was the issue. Ultra lost the first blood, and then burned as bad as much time as you can physically do. And the trades won't matter, because the clock will win. London once again, first in that 4th V3 percentage when it does come down to these teams. When they're finding first bloods, they are converting them 82% of the time. Absolutely huge to have that in your back pocket. If you're finding these first bloods, they are so solid. They didn't give Ultra an inch there. Ultra answered back themselves though. First bloods, they're last when it does come down to it, so that's not where you want to be. London up will be the ones trying to find this pick. Over towards A we go. And we get anything done over here. Utility, very important over towards the back of the aggression. Not quite there yet. They're waiting for this. They now push imminent. They're stacking and looking. They are trying to get the position they need to be in. No first blood yet. Gizmo checking out towards the back. Cammy could be the stopgap. They know where Cammy is. The gunfights have already come through. Now there it is. Just going to be on the tiniest little fair. Cammy runs into it besides the line. Kleenex gets the trade. How on earth that happened? Bans gets another one. And they find themselves at 2 versus 4 when they should have had first blood all locked up. Gizmo should have found that kill inside.
This
One
one's
of the dangerous 1 with 0 left on his own now. Will surely be challenged. Will surely be killed.
That's crazy.
Oh, it just rests on the edge of a knife every single time. It's so different. Gizmo cannot. And that is potentially a big moment further down the line. 1-1. That's not how I expected that to go at all. Not even remotely. Well, can he? Gizmo had to offer. But 1-1. An opportunity for redemption there for the Ravens. And they get this round back to order, but it will be Ultra on the attack again. The last time around, first blood went against them, and then they just played it very, very slow. Utility out from the side of London, no information gained. Bit more of an aggressive setup here from both sides, actually. We're going to try and find anything if you advance. Just information he's playing for that. Learning the resale value of that house. 1 spray at a time. Look at this. London are ready for the push that's going to come through there if that's what's going to happen. Ultra, very passive once more. They love to do this. Look for the picks. neither team has found any bit of information on each other so far. Is Kleenex going to be the one to try and break through? Because after all, we know how good he has been on this map for Ravens. It's the kind of spot you would want him in. Was there any information gained from that? The grenade comes over. I don't think it bothers anybody. That bomb is down. 4v4. Still, nobody really getting into a big gunfight. Afro in a precarious position, but it could be the difference. Cammy already finds one. Advantage for trying to put down to 2 versus 4. They're looking for the last player. 1 versus 4 now. And it's only going to be Afro. He's great, but I don't think he's great enough. It's Cammy with a 360 off the top rope. Brings it to Ultra 2-1. Again, very slow rounds, aren't they? It's getting down to the final few seconds, and whoever blinks first seems to be losing it. The first gunfight comes on through. That bomb is down. It makes things so much easier for the side of Ultra, who can just back it up. But both teams are not offering anything, but offering a lot in a certain way as well. They're very much sitting back on the defensive side and inviting the teams in, but not showing face whatsoever. When that bomb is then down, you have no information if you're the London Royal Ravens, other than the bomb is down. And the retake is that much more difficult. I'm curious if both two teams just playing and maybe a little bit nervous, but look at this hit. Well, Cammy few moves, but somehow clears from that first blood. Keeper gets one back on the Cammy. Already, Banks is coming through. And I tell you something, a change of tempo already into this one. London went for the fast hits, but they did not get the kills they wanted. Skill huge insight. Not going to play with fire there. Zero looking to try and find a pick, but London Royal Ravens yet to really get going here in map number 5. Where on earth do London go? Neither team has really had much information on these attacks at all. Both defensive sides very passive. Problem for London is obviously they're going to want to plant, so that means a player has to do it, the player has to overwatch. But without that information, it makes it a difficult prospect. They have to slowly but surely peek this one down. Now switching up towards the top, throws the shoulder and gets away. So looking like London are probably going to go down here. The shots are good from Nasty, but they're better from Vance. Zero now left in a 1 versus 3 with 20 seconds to go, and this would be something. Just doesn't have the time, doesn't have the info. Or does he? Gets out, 10 seconds to go though. Time is the ultimate issue here. And that is going to be surely another round over, or is it? Wait a second, they're going to check this regardless. And he's not. Oh, wow, okay. Wouldn't have mattered if he'd lost the gunfight. Ultra got 3-1. The time was against him. And that's more kills coming in for Bats. He's going to be very close to that streak now. I want to say that might be number 6. We'll keep an eye on it when we go into this next round. That is hugely important. Could just be an information tool when it does come down to it. It is indeed number 6. So can Vance find the 7th? Will maybe be another nail in the coffin here for the Ravens, who are yet to really get going. We talked about Afro 3-3 from him, but Ultra have not played into it. They've been passive, they've been slow. They don't want to have to get too crazy with Afro inside the Grandmas. The problem for playing for this streak is there's no easy way to get it for Vance. This is perfect for Ultra. Look at the aggression coming in from London. They might just get picked apart. Stay alive. London commit bodies towards A. They don't get anything for it. And Ultra could have got the first blood. They don't, though. Fights go down. Cammy's already found Gizmo. Advantage to Ultra again. But where do they apply this pressure? Problems at both bomb sides for them, and Nasty gets inside. Back to 3 versus 3. Ultra just feels like have the read on this at this moment in time. Very slow and passive, and it's working out for them. Kleenex on the 3 spree himself. And things are getting a little bit more aggressive here for this side of Ultra. They smell blood in the water and a little bit of a gap, but here come the Royal Ravens. Smooth around the outside. Nasty and Afro combining, and that's just put Ultra up just a little bit, but a fight over towards the back. Afro will find another. Advance is all of a sudden left in a 1 versus 3. He tried to help his teammates out there, for Afro. That's the middle glide. It's big for Vance. That's huge. Is he going to find anything else, though? 1 versus 3 as he checks every single corner. But the time is against him. Depending on what play he chooses to make here, as he flies out towards River, somebody's waiting for him. He was thinking that London would probably be around A for it, but the Ravens do walk away with a round win. The benefit for Ultra is they have a glide in the pocket now. Yeah, a small silver lining to that round for the side of Ultra, as you say. My glide bomb is now in. And will it make much of a difference for the side of Ultra? It's been quite a strange Bocage, hasn't it? It's been the least Bocage search and destroy I've seen in quite some time on Bocage. Neither team really won't commit to too much. It's not so much about the SMGs. It's been about Ultra just trying to find those picks, playing passively. And London not really having too much of an answer so far. 3-2. Looking at the pace here, the Ace come through, but no information for London.
This means one of two things. Either they have a quick rotate towards B, or because they've got nothing, it means the way might be open for them. And you can just see in their play, they're finding no information, so they're passive. They don't want to make this push too hard. They're kind of running in blind at this moment in time, and it's not really that anything that's going to work out for any team in particular, but for Ravens to have somebody like Afro, he has no info. You'll have to maybe just do it himself. Well, the entry is what we're looking for. Ravens burning time. They are hoping for a misstep from Ultra. They're looking for just a hint of potential. This could be it. Already coming for the first blood, though. That was a bomb carrier as well. Bomb now down, 35 seconds remaining. London have to spring into life very, very quickly. Oh, the movement's not going to pay out for him, and they get it all done. 0 in a 1 versus 4. Potentially get the bomb down here, but there are so many Toronto Ultra players who are waiting for him to show himself. It's the one towards the back, and Ultra, they may shut him down, or they may just throw the shoulders. Not going to happen for 0. Avartian attempted to be spare, but honestly, Ultra just playing this really well. They aren't giving London anything, nothing at all. London needs to maybe try and be a little bit more aggressive, but then there's been times that Ultra are sitting back and they're just countering it. Every single time, London need to find a little bit of fire here because it feels very, very flat at this moment in time. And we start again, only a few seconds away from getting into this next round, 2-1. And Ultra have the opportunity to move forward. A 5-2 at this point with a glide bomb in the pocket would be huge for them. They're going to find that first glide. It feels like an awful lot of time left in this round at the beginning. When it goes like 1:16, it feels like an age. Quickly, it disappears. Both teams just seemingly not want to make any mistakes. Avro's just trying to position himself in places that he can then go off. Never had the opportunity, and how many of those have we seen from Ultra? Another grenade goes over, another Ravens man dies. And Ultra now, once again, it's like when they smell blood in the water, they just tighten their grip. They close on in, and they execute. But can Afro be the ace in the hole? Well, he's not going to have much to do now. Glide bomb coming on through. Nasty should be dead, and is. It's a 4 versus 2 now for Ultra. 38 seconds on the clock. Bomb will go down. We're setting it at 45. Ravens have to do everything. They've already been found a little bit. Gizmo tries to fly there for the trade. Doesn't happen. They're trying to get through all the way through the middle map. Mechanic says thank you very much. And now it's Afro at 1 versus 4. Finds the first. Oh, not quite the second. He could have done with that. And frustration will be continuing to grow here for the side of Royal Ravens. London have not had a sniff the majority of the time. Toronto Ultra are playing this one. They are reading Ravens every time. And Ravens don't have an answer to this passiveness. Bance is 10-2. Benjamin Bance. A name that has echoed through European Call of Duty history in incredible ways. And now the Ultra are 1 round away from a reverse sweep of the major. Questions were asked, and they are looking to give us an answer. An answer that shuts down every bit of criticism. But here we go, first blood. Bance is going aggressive. He's going aggressive. He's going to call this out. Ravens are going aggressive themselves, though. And this is something we haven't seen so far. Ultra going to have to back on down. What can Ravens do with it? They're pushing through. London are trying to change the tempo for this one. Already that first blood. Phoenix finds the first one. Gizmo finds one back, though. A 3 versus 3. That's now a 2 versus it's Bance again. And it's down to a 1 versus 3. Ultra has found history.
No
They have found
way
the
they
first
choked
lead
that.
in the first game of the major. And the 0 can find nothing, but it's so good. Goes up 6. They get 20 points. That makes Ravens down. Ultra were not the favourites, but that doesn't matter at the end. And for the Ravens, number 1 seed, walking into the major, and now in the lower bracket. And just such a flat performance in game number 5. It's things you hate to see. And he just couldn't get going whatsoever. When you think of Ravens, you think of Bakash, you think of Afro, in there, in Chromos, finding these kills of attackers coming in, finding them to open up. Ultra position themselves to say it. Absolutely not. Not even remotely giving Ravens a sniff at getting into their stride in game number 5. It is a reverse sweep to kick off the major. And what a series that was from map 1 to map 5, back and forth. My goodness. Hey, I'm okay to keep giving us these games. Like, I'm alright with it. We knew it'd be good. We knew it'd be great the entire way through. It started off unbelievably. A 1-point difference in a half point. A close 2-game series in the S&D. Then the weakness showed. The problem for the Ravens. The control reared its ugly head in this series. And it set off the catalyst for a revert.
Hey, how you doing, baby? You look mighty fine, I think it, I might come your way. Roll up on you with that golden ticket. Try to get that get your
Smell irresistible. The Axe Effect.
Daniel Bryan says I can't wrestle. Once again, Daniel, very original. Millions of people say that. All the time, they're chanting it right now.
Is that I become WWE champion. Now, it could happen at SummerSlam. It could happen the night after. It could happen at WrestleMania. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that the champ is here. Oh no. Brian is even things up. Now we got a standoff. See him with the WWE title.
Little idea. Since no one seems to be able to get along tonight, how about we have a 6-man tag match for the main event?
Up on the day. They've had our number twice, we've had their number twice, so, you know, it just feels good. Feels good clutching up against them.
I see a smile on your face right here. Talk to me about how the team is feeling, because like you said, the main 3 wins that you guys got were all from reverse sweeps, okay? I know that's got to be taxing on your mental.
Yeah, it's definitely not how I'd want to win, you know, that nice quick 3-0 would be nice. No, but it's good. It's good character building for us. Normally we, well, we've had some unfortunate reverse sweeps, but now we're doing the reverse sweeping, so it feels good.
You know what, fans, best of luck to you and the squad, okay? That's going to do it here for us on the main stage with our Game Fuel Victory interview. Des, take it away.
11-2 and a reverse sweep to start the day off in New York. It is actually cool. But I have a question, Davis fan. What the hell happened with London?
Well, let's just say this. It's a game 5 on your best map across any game mode. 10-2 London are on Bocage S&Ds. Going up against the Toronto Ultra, which is usually their auto veto when it comes to search and destroy. And you lose that. That is unacceptable if you are the London Royal Ravens. I mean, we're talking about Toronto Ultra slowing down the pace of the game. The London Ravens did not know what they wanted to do there. When you slow down the game like that, Jay, you know it. You have to play as a team. That team or the adjustments mid-round have to come into play.
Oh, I'm so tired.
It's a lot more stressful. You saw what it dealing with all game long.
Yeah, Yeah, right there, Toronto Ultra, they just capitalized every single moment that they needed to. And that close out in 6, so they get 7 first bloods. They're just knowing their opposing team, right? When you play the map so much if you're London, you're going to go back to your Toronto Ultra and just watch every single time that they play that. No player tendencies, and that's why you see them get multiple first bloods with those nades. They just know where London are trying to set up around that map. You pick them apart, put yourself in a man advantage. That's when they found a lot of success.
So I think the problems have waiting for that. By the way, the audience is lovely at this event. I hope you guys can hear them. They are loud. But Ali, I think it all fell apart there in control. If you want to take control of the whole event, losing that third map, it looked like London went in the same team.
Well, at that point, though, like, we knew London was probably going to lose control, right? Toronto Ultra, the only game that they've been looking good in this stage has been control, and London was 0-5 into it heading in, so we were like, okay, well, London needs to go up 2 on series. That's what they do, but the issue is, like I touched on at the beginning of this map, is that Toronto Ultra is more of a momentum-based team than they give themselves credit for. They get that hot 3 on that control, they head into that Berlin, it's like the fundamentals found their way right back to Toronto Ultra. They were getting all the P3 early rotations. We saw that P2 rotation where they almost choked it, but Insight off the spawn books it deep docks to make sure they have that early control of P2 and end up pulling out the W there on that hill, and then completing the reverse sweep to the boat cage. I was just watching them getting gone for a lot today. I mean, Toronto Ultra, we know they're very composed and teamwork-based team, so to see them have a reverse sweep like that against London Royal Ravens, who are 4-1 this stage, I have more hope for them.
It's like we already got an upset here. I mean, like as we talk about London Royal Ravens, they were number 1 in the standings dominated. It's a bet losing in a game 5 to kick things off. Yep. This tournament's gonna be wild, man.
Okay, so the tournament was wild at the beginning anyways. Then all that happened in Hardpoint, the very first map, which is a scout playing a game steady. That was back and forth. That was so crazy.
It's a 1-point hardpoint game, man. A 1-point hardpoint game. As you can just see right here, the Ravens at 248. They're thinking, all right, we start off with this initial 2-piece. We should be okay to hit the trade situation. But no, Kleenex at least stalls time for his teammates to spawn in the back, and then his fans it's time to get alive. He gets a 2-piece. It's non-stop trades all around. And now you see London are all spawning out towards the middle of the map. You have one player who hits to P5. Kleenex is the cutoff guy that goes to bottom church. He gets traded, but eventually this player, number 7, which is Gizmo, he comes all the way from P5, finds that 2-piece to close out the game for the Ravens. In those crucial moments right there, the fact that he was able to set up that pinch play, tremendously great plays from him, because usually in those moments, you're thinking, rush, let's just get to the hill. But great play from Gizmo to eventually close out with our first team.
I honestly love moments like that where it's just at some point, like, comms are just crazy, and it's just every player, like, at that point, it's just in sync on what to do when the game is that close. But I didn't even notice. I was like, the game should have been ended there when Nancy died trying to push out T. But as he was dead, a nade connected that he had thrown, like, right before he got taken out, and so he basically traded himself out, and that is what gave them the advantage to still contest that play to win the game. I didn't notice that.
No, I'm good.
Absolutely insane. I wasn't going to replay just that whole first map. But ladies and gentlemen, come on, next. We have a little Boston Green space up in store. And there's Jay Steady will not be on the desk for that one, so I'm going to have to ask your prediction, please.
Oh, that's no problem, man. Boston 3-0.
Boston 3-0.
Way to take a look at the on stage 4, man. That team came out swinging. Looking great in hardpoint, looking great in control, which they have been struggling with. They've been winning maps. They were 3-10 on Let the Boots in control. That team, ever since that roster changed, they're going to come out swinging.
All right, to put a bowl on this first series, by the way, let's take a look at the Team KD to see how everybody did. I personally want to see how Vance did, because ending that map on 11-2, he was insane. Rightly so, looking at 109.
Yeah, he's got pride. And then also, Kleenex had some big moments in this series, man. Like, he's the guy who's close to the bag game throughout it, but I mean, everybody here, the teamwork came to life in the big play.
Right, let's also take a look at the Ravens and that shit.
That's going to be a difficult game.
I'm not used to seeing that. How broke it, alright?
I don't know, always felt alright. My issue was with that game 5 start to destroy, it was a lot on his shoulders, right? Most of the success that we saw out of the Royal Ravens was when Afro was getting mixy and comfortable on that map, and unfortunately that game 5, he just couldn't get anything going to get their foot in the door because Toronto Ultra, the teamwork and getting those bloods, and like Jim said, like 7-1, like, once you're a man down on a map like Boat Cage, it's tough.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why these teams want to fall out right now, the reason why that first series is amazing, is because of the bubble. Everybody's trying to go to Champ City. They are Archers trying to go right now. August 1st through 7th at the Galen Center. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Personally, not on the chance. And I'm saying, I've never spoken to you about it, man. Champs really like that.
Oh, Champs is the best tournament every single year, man. It's like,
This is the tournament, at least for me, back when I was a player that started my whole career in Call of Duty. Just one great placement right there can change your entire life. So I know for these players nowadays that are playing, they know that going into this tournament, we always say, if you have a terrible year, at least you can end out with a bang. That's the biggest one.
You got that right. Hey, Call fans, get your 2022 champs back today, all right? Dominate the competition with the Potamati Operator Skin, SMG, and AR Blueprints. Go to CallOfDutyLeague.com to get yours now. But check this out. It's time to go to the second series of the day. Boston versus Florida Mutineers. I can't wait, but also, what about those cell phones? Because the calling card is there, and go ahead and get far. I like that one.
Maybe after this upcoming series, we'll see one of these teams rocking them, as Jake predicted, a hot trio on one side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready for the second series of the day between Boston Breach and the Florida Mutineers. And remember, this is all about the bubble, a must-win game if you're on the side of Florida. We kick you out to the other side of this break for some more amazing Call of Duty action out here in New York, Brooklyn. See you there.
What?
We'll see if they got some pop, dude. Doing anything?
What do you want? They don't even fucking sell coffee over there no more.
Bro, that place is like ridiculous.
They don't even sell coffee no more.
Grab two of them eight donuts, man.
NYSL are giving away tons of prizes all weekend long. Grab your friends and join the Major 4 Metaverse event in 2 Central Hour for your chance to win. Visit nyxl.com/dude. Upgrade your game with a Scuf, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Prime members get free games every month. Slew free content for your favorite games like Call of Duty. Claim yours now at gaming.amazon.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to New York and welcome to Brooklyn. We have another game on the docket right now. This is going to be a really fun one. Florida Mutineers and also Boston Breach. And I'm really curious to see how this one's going to go. On the desk still, we have Chance joining us. And Chance, you were able to watch that last series, London versus Toronto. London dropped the ball.
I mean, did they drop the ball to Toronto clutch? Like, every single one of those guys who had through this stage has been, like, a reverse sweep. And, like, if you come into a tournament and there is just a game mode, even if it's a game 3, where you are just incapable of winning it, things like this are going to happen.
Right, in this match right here, there's a lot of implications when it talks about champs, right? Florida Mutineers are on their way on the outside looking in at the bubble as they currently need points. And this one is going to be easy at all. Take a look at the maps and Moses, see where Florida is going to go into battle with Boston Breach. And Ali, I mean, your thoughts about this?
Well, I think it's a good matchup overall. I mean, we're talking about an AR-heavy team, the likes of Florida Mutineers, and a Boston Breach team who were struggling on the Bluetooth, but the most recent season that we've seen from them, they look dominant on that map, specifically in the respawns, and it's really straight for me, though. When it comes to the Boston Breach, it's just about playing their lives a little bit more. I feel like every time we watch this Boston Breach team now, when it comes to search and destroy, they're just getting flooded. You know, they run out of patience a little bit too quickly. That could come from the fact that they have the fastest skill of David and Nero, who are just go. But search and destroy, calm down, take a step back, get your timing, I think we'll be okay.
I mean, I'm honestly a little bit worried about Boston with this map set, just because looking at both Kabutus, the Florida team that's on a 6-game win streak on that map 1, a 5-game win streak on that map 3, and then also 2 search and destroys we have in the series are one Florida previously weren't good at, but since adding Major Maniac, he's gotten some big dubs on both of these maps, so it can get pretty interesting.
Well, Kabuto is going to be interesting, very interesting to me personally, because of the simple fact of let's just talk about Boston Breach. Vivid was on Florida, and we saw Vivid with that AR from Kabuto before. So adding that dynamic to this already good Boston Breach squad, Ali, I am loving everything about it.
I'm gonna be completely honest, is I think the reason Florida Mutineers was so good at Kabuki before was because of Vivid. I felt like that was a map that he was incredibly comfortable on, and he was just always trying to make the play. He was always trying to make the one-off right decision, and now that he's been added to this Boston Breach team, he has not only added in the slaying, added in the pacing, but added in the respawns as well. So when it comes to the game, decent victory though against the Florida Mutineers. Can't take it away.
Gotta stay strong in the respawn. These guys are 10 and 4 record during the Major 4 qualifiers. I mean, Nero and Vivid are just supposed to be trying. You see everybody stepping up on this team. Also, TJ, man, with these people in front of him, like, he's been playing so much better, making big plays. Then bring the recent control form to Matt Dragobutu. We saw it in their last match versus the Toronto Ultra, how good that they've become on that map. It's going to have to translate into a W on land.
And the respawns work well for this squad ever since they came to the team. But his duo, Nero, has been on fire as well. I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. But Chance, when it comes to the other team, Florida Mutineers, they're fighting their way currently. But I will say this, there is a bright spot. I'm loving these.
I mean, I'm loving what he brings to the S&D game as well. I'd say from Florida, that has been, like, truly the shining light. Like, it is 2 of their worst S&D maps in this series, but they've looked better. Like, this team got their first Voltage S&D win in this stage after they made this swap. So, I mean, he brings a new dynamic to the team. That has sort of been their path to success. And I'd say Florida, at least so far, have exceeded my expectations.
Right, when it comes to the game 15, it's a victory. Ali, what you get?
Nothing I'll ever not say, but winning through the S&D second in round percentage during Major 4 qualifiers. Boston Breach is 10. It feels like these teams kind of just hot potatoes their positions from 1 through 3 majors, but again, that's on the back of Major Maniac, right? Like we've seen when he's added to the search and destroy, and for me, it's just for him to continue that greatness, and hopefully some of the respawn woes will just fall into place.
I'm gonna add another key to victory. I want to see Chubero go absolutely insane. We've seen what he's done online. I want to see even better on land. But it's gonna be time for pickups. chance to guess on the Destiny honors goes to you. Florida, all right, you got Boston, you got.
I cannot remember who I predicted the top today. I think early on I was leaning Boston. After seeing the match, I thought I'm
Yep.
I
I got Monster.
Who?
Monster. They only had 2 AW left.
I'm not to try that, but I will say this. I think, revenge scores usually go to the favor of the player that has dropped. So I think Vivid's got some serious fire under him, and I think Boston.
Nameless man, I'm thinking Miami, I'm thinking Boston.
Yeah.
What are you thinking right now?
Chance got some answer. After looking at those maps, I feel like Florida has this. This team, like, they have 2 tough losses versus teams that were flying online in the qualifying stage. And also, Awakening and Skies play so much better on land. I feel like they're going to get this one.
This man not just like saying Boston.
Oh, he saw the match. He saw Kabuto and said, yo, I'm changing my mind. I'm not going to tip the scales, though. I'm not going to Boston Breach and make me proud, all right, baby? But, ladies and gentlemen, it's about time to get the second game underway. We have the Florida Mutineers and also the Boston Breach. Let's go.
New York City, it's that time again as we hop into our second series of the day. The first one was a banger, but now I'm going to have you all give some love and a round of applause to your regional rivals. I give to you the Boston Breach. You got Vivid, Methods, TJ Riley, and Nero. Into the breach they go.
When I look at this team, I think like, I'm Italian. My grandma has this secret recipe when it comes to her favorite pasta. You know what that was in Florida? It was Vivid. You know what they dropped in the pasta ain't gonna taste the same. Vivid has been dynamic on this roster. We're talking about an overall buff in this game deep. And the thing is, Boston Breach found a new duo to help lead the way. But Blaze, it's her first time on land. I think they're gonna pull it out. Bring out the other squad, though.
We'll see if they can help them lead the way, but they're going to have to tread lightly because into the deep we go. I get to you, the Florida Mutineers. Awakening! Major Maniac! Sky! And Too Real! The Florida Mutineers!
The crowd seems to be against the Mutineers, but they're just going to have to use that as fuel. I mean, you're looking at a squad that can now finally win their search and destroys, and it's behind a guy like Major Maniac, who has been the leader for this squad to get them into the winner's bracket. I'm looking at Awakening and Skies to pop up in the respawns throughout this series.
Nope, ain't gonna happen, boys.
Let's get it started, okay? The crowd is wild, and I can't think of a wilder cast to pair to cast this one. Bert, Maven, take it away. buddy. All right. Yeah. It's time to have a blast. This is going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun. I did find it a little weird. You kind of mentioned, but hey, we're in New York cheering for a Boston team. It's a little odd.
Yeah, like what if I say like Red Sox? Then what? Okay, well, I don't get it. Yeah. Okay, but you're cheering for the Boston Breach. I'm just confused. That's all. I mean, I get it. Like, you love City. Like, who doesn't love City? But it's a little weird. That's all. That's all.
Well, we're excited for what is bound to be a fun one. We've got an entire weekend of incredible Call of Duty action for you. Thank you to those who have enjoyed the show thus far. And Joe, I'm not sure what way this is going to go. You kind of heard my desk been going around and changing their picks a little bit. How did you feel coming into this?
Well, I felt pretty. I think Nameless hit the nail on the head. I was feeling Boston just with David on the team now as a player that they wanted. But then the maps that kind of came out, and I don't feel great for Boston. The records are fantastic on one side versus the other. I just think it's some maps that Florida have had a lot of success on. When you have a couple of Gabutus, you have Skies and Awakening on the team where he can pull out a third AR. I think you're feeling pretty good about it. But as I said, Vivid, he was great on this map. It should be a great match.
I know we both kind of get big Vivid. Like, you really like what he does in the map. You like what he can apply for a team. You love this from Reach.
No, the pickup of Vivid.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you talk to Methods or some of the guys on the team who are a little bit more structured, that's why they go this way. To pick up Vivid. I think the big thing for me, the big question mark, is going to be Cap. At times was a superstar. It felt like he had such high impact plays. Who is going to take over that? Who is going to make them? Two guys for me, it has to be TJ and Nero. They have to be more consistent.
It's all a little weird when he was like, rookie of the year conversation and out of the team. Like, what's going on? But here we go into map one, getting ready to rock and roll. We're going to take it over with Vivid, who is the new guy here. It's been incredible to see what he is capable of. He's been bouncing around and getting hit. We hope he finds an incredible home.
And on the other side, for two big roster changes that, Vivid leaves this team. They pick up Two-Real, they pick up Major Maniac. Two-Real, not the best stats online, but I think bringing on Major Maniac is a big one for me. This is a guy who has had success in the CDL. He can bring it in, search and destroy, but I think he just brings structure to the team. That's what Skies and Awakening have been missing.
I think we might have an issue just the way that they're kind of looking over to a ref. There might be something going on. We'll wait and see what the call is going to be. But I saw Major Maniac. Looks like he was trying to find something over. Now maybe locked in. We'll see what's going on. But a little confusion on the faces of the players. Two-Real, I love the cushions. That's what I figured. All right. We're sorry. I thought something might be up. Usually, at the professional level, you're kind of looking at the screen. So everybody kind of looking left to right. Looked like they were trying to get a ref's attention. So we'll get back into it as quick as we can.
I'm looking down. Okay, so it's just it looked like Sky's controller. So I think they were just getting that fixed. And for you and I, it's always good to have like a minute warm up in the cast. So that
that works out. No, I saw. I think it was Sky's POV. He was literally just hit fire. I'm like, okay, something's going on. But yeah, as soon as we're ready to rock and roll, we will get going. Everybody get hydrated, get locked in. I'm recovering.
Not a 2-hour delay again. Come on.
Order a meat plate for 3 with duck and some steak and
multiple ducks.
I had way too much meat to eat. I'm recovering.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait on them to start the match,
the people at the restaurant were kind of like,
we're gonna go make some tea.
Are you sure about this?
The waitress looked at me. She was a little bit disgusted, but it was truly incredible. TJ on your screen now. It's I love him as a player. I love to see what he's capable of doing this team. I'm wondering if maybe when you think about Vivid coming into this lineup, could maybe help bolster him at all?
Yes, it should help Vivid here a lot. Vivid is a guy who plays fast, right? A lot of engagement, aggression on the map, going to be the first guy in. And I just think that's going to make their lives easier. It absolutely should. That should. Yeah, he likes to play with structure. He was on Empire, had some success. He was on Florida, just trying to figure things out. But I think for Boston, again, it should help them a lot in the respawns. The one surprise was throughout the stage 4, their search was a little bit weak when you talk about the players on there.
Hey,
maybe a little bit of a surprise.
Don't be licking my pillow.
It's a new roster. They have to work that out. I think they will.
Let's check out Methods in Awakening. We're going to take a look at some hardpoint stats while we make sure Skies' controller is ready to go. Get ready to get into the map. Joe, as you take a look at it, break down 2 of these monster players for me.
Well, I think, Methods, he really, stage 1 and stage 2 really was popping up early in this.
Oh, yeah, his stats look like the best player in the game, right?
Yeah, and obviously stage 3, not what they wanted. They thought out for pretty quickly at the third major. And then for Awakening, it doesn't matter what weapon is in his hands, he can pop off. It's just a question of can this team, put a run together. It's like, you last major, you beat Optic round one, and then you fall off. That cannot happen. It has to be consistency round to round.
Yeah, I feel like every time we've casted Florida lately, they've been getting it done, though. Like, whatever series it has been.
It's like, the first one of the tournament.
Yeah. That's basically what it has been. But no, I think you saw Awakening kind of be a little sarcastic on Twitter, and somebody said,
I want to run stuff.
I want to run stuff. He's in a position that maybe he doesn't necessarily want to be, but I think it shows just how versatile he is as a player, what he can do on the map. Now, can they make it work? I guess we'll wait and see. But to be fair, a lot of times this year when I looked at their roster, multiple times I'm like, that doesn't really make sense completely compared to some of the other teams, but they've still floated around like that top 6 area.
Yeah, but now it's like it's a huge match here where we talked about making champs, top 8, they're right on the bubble. Again, I think they're underdogs in this matchup. A lot of people expected Boston to win. They go 4-1 in a line, but it's just a question of
Well, that's why they have here. That's why I think despite the New York environment, the rooting for Boston is going to have a little bit now. Because you are rooting for New York to make that run, to make it happen. This is one of those teams you want to see find the bump in the road.
Yeah, New York going to be up next. That should be a fun one. Just seem to have roster bring it. If they can win a major match.
Oh, and I don't know if that's in the video, if that's pushing up the broadcast as well, but the Crim 6 cartoons, the Batman, I don't know where all it's incredible.
They made a comment.
It might just be here, but all comics are sensational.
Yeah, kids, have you seen it? It's on Reddit, and I think they had one made for this.
That's very cool. I can't wait for the next episode. Whatever his issue is, if he gives a controller issue, a quick reset, we'd be ready to go. But apologies for the delay. As soon as we are good to get cooking, we will. We're going to check out, we were kind of touching on it right now. Think about the overall CDL points and who's got to make a run, who's kind of sitting right above it. I mean, the big thing is there, that yellow line, you see where the bump is going to be for the top 8 teams that are going to get into our CDL championship. And subliners, they've got to overcome what's probably going to be either Mutineers, Rocker, or Gorillas. They have to hop. And when you think about that, it's like you kind of need Gorillas, Rocker, Mutineers, one of these teams to really have some of these teams that have just come in, lose 2 matches, you have to make it run to top 3. I mean, how it's going to get done is insane.
But the bracket play out for them, right? I think that's what you and I talked about. The bracket kind of does play out with some of the other bubbles.
Oh, 100%. You look at the bracket, it couldn't have worked out a whole lot better.
Yeah, I mean, you have this matchup. I think the loser of, so it would be London plays Gorillas in losers round 1. That's a tough matchup for Gorillas. You then have for LADs, they're going to drop down and play Paris. So they should get in. It's really the focus for me is our Gorillas Boston. They win this match, they'd be at 180. They'd probably be safe. So there's that going on as well. They want to win this match, just make sure they're secure. But they should be. But really the focal point is for New York.
We've been talking about how cool just this theater atmosphere is, right?
We've been having this for a while.
I know. We've had it a couple times in different esports over the course of the history of this thing, but it's just very. I don't know how to describe it. It's dope.
It's a perfect size for us, right? We did this Black Ops 4, the Hard Rock. They had a theater style like this. I love it though, man. I'm having a ton of fun, and this theater is gorgeous.
No, it really is. It's beautiful. I mean, just the ceiling alone for those in attendance. I don't know how much that costs to do, but.
You think you could do that?
No, I'm not really good at anything.
If you had to perform on stage in front of this crowd,
Hamlet. The lead performance. Hamlet. Yes. No, not Hamlet.
No, Hamlet.
Oh, Hamlet. Yeah, Hamlet.
Really? Can you do a line? Do you know a line?
No, I don't know any lines. You're about Jordan Fisher. I don't act on Broadway.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Just the way you said that was so.
I tried to. Yeah, speak with confidence, and maybe it'll come true.
I think you'd be a great actor.
Thank you, buddy. You can see a shot of the stage as they're just hoping to get going. The Sky's just going to try to dial the settings, make sure everything's working properly before we give it a go.
Probably just give it a shot. Maybe needed a new one.
Yeah, no. Might have just been a quick swap. Had somebody from management come over and get another one in there. All right. We're trying to get it going. I promise we want to. I love you all.
Usually it's shut up, Nathan. But
no.
Let's go.
No, that's for right here. That's for right here. The shut up Nathan chance will start. I get it. That started long ago, and it's truly incredible. But thank you guys for your patience. We hopefully are ready to go here in just a moment. But this venue, this weekend, just to lead up to champs, this is kind of where everything gets decided, right? Where heroes are made. I want
wants something ludicrous to happen. When you think about how it started, you have the 250, 249 to kick things off. It just spelled something supernatural. It's going to be happening this weekend, Joe.
Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Well, every major's been pretty nuts.
Very true
About it. So
yeah, no, you're very true. But apologies, the chance of the crowd. We love you guys. We've got a quick break coming. We're making sure everything's ready to go on the main stage. We'll be right back.
I love you.
Has him upstairs.
Hello and welcome back. Hopefully situated, ready to go. A beautiful shot of that ceiling that I decided to start talking about randomly as we were filling time as the controller was getting fixed for Sky. Now, to my understanding, they had to make a quick swap out. They were getting a new one in his hand.
We're in the game. I see it.
They might be loading into it, but we'll be ready to go here hopefully momentarily. It's just 10 seconds. That's it. Oh, I couldn't see past your beautiful head, man. I got a head of hair.
Dude, sorry.
That's all right, Joe. That's all right. But thank you, everybody in attendance at home, for your patience. But here we go. We're going to try it again. Map 1, Boston Breach, Florida Mutants, which during the entire rehearsal I referred to as the Boston Beavers and Florida Mutants, and I was just worried I was going to screw that up.
You did say mutants. It's the Mutineers, yeah.
Mutants, yeah. I said it too many times during rehearsal, Joe. It's stuck in my head. Peekaboo, TJ here, ready and waiting, able to take down one before the entire onslaught of the Mutineers swings on forward. Major Maniac stepping it up. 2-0 start. And I mean, it just feels like how it always happens on restarts.
Oh shit, I'm back into it. Okay.
Boston this time.
Getting dialed up, boys.
Florida, they they're able to break on through. Europe was trying to hold on. He goes for it one more time, but Awakening with that auto. And that's the thing with Kabuto, right? We talked about Awakening. He can run that third auto. It just seems to be when they are so darn good on this map. So that's what you're surprised about the map selection you're going to have. Kabuto hardpoint, you're going to have Kabuto control.
It's delayed.
Get some of this time. It's just if there are any question marks around, maybe they're off certs, and they'll go away once you get a certain. Kabuto, right? It's a flip over to P3 side. He started off 5-0. On the rotation is going to be Skies. He's going to have a one-on-one versus Nero. Nero with the MP40. He just wants to get pushed up to that wall. Maybe the nade will connect, or at least buy his team some time. The spawns are still in for Boston Breach. Florida with some good positioning to put the pressure on. You got to help some size on the Skies here. Trader is beaming right now. Yeah, he is absolutely on his tear. That's having 4 in a row for him. He's on another 5 spree up to 10-1. Does get cut down. While that's happening, Vivic is soaking up time. I know we're just happy to see because Major tweets whenever he
is it just me or is it
actually like, I'm going to work to get better. You see him go down the challenge, you see him make the plays and get the results. Now back end, show him what he can do. 10-2. Back to the Mutineers, just disrupt some of this time, rotate over to B4. You take this all day, you have the lead, you'll take the contest. Boston trying to put pressure on Nero with that MP40. Does get pushed forward. Too real though. He's going to get right back to that spot, go for the challenge, try to bait him out. Tries to bait him out, goes for the gunfight, it does connect. Now another one. His message over real. Going to take them both down, and this is perfect here for Florida. But Vivian trying to get pushed up to the middle of the map. Nice bit of patience there, right? In kind of a crazy situation, just to kind of go prone, find his time, wait for the call-outs, find the time to catch, and gets it done as he pushes through. Now back to Awakening COV, and that's going to be a freebie there on the method. Little snap up to the tree, not quite able to connect on the shots as Vivian will take down 2. Now focus towards the hard point. It's TJ trying to find an opening here, Joe. That's what he can. They're able to find one, but 2 real off the spawn. He's going to take down 2. They make it 3. So TJ, the last player alive, all 4 down. Now, 40 Mutineers with a 40-point lead. Going to try to extend it some more as there's still 30 seconds left. Skies and Major Maniac. It's a big staggered push here. It's 2. And then 2. You have to slow this down. If you are TJ and Nero, they're going to do that. They're going to find that first pick. Now you can go up through Boston. Nice shot, Nero. Beautiful little snap there. They'll get into the hard point with about 20 seconds left. But you kind of mentioned, you're pushing 2x2, it's staggered. Sometimes you're so hyped up for the first half, right? You're on the main stage, the crowd is nuts. How do you kind of bring it back to reality and slow down? I think that just comes down to the comms, right? Just trying to slow things down. You need a vocal leader. Hey, let's wait for one another, one of the veterans. Whether it's probably a guy like Methods, maybe even Vivid. But on the rotation, Florida was able to get out of that P4 trap. So the trap doesn't come in. Awakening goes on a very long route, and you already have that P5 set up here for the Florida Mutineers. Yeah, it's like you don't really mind for the final 20 seconds, do you? You're able to set up and get a lot of time, but it's getting a little bit scrappy here. Major and Skies able to step up and around the hard point, though, and that'll be Awakening now, actually getting in to soak up the time. Major continues up to 17-7 now as he drops. Skies been massive trying to hold off the angle. He's able to do that. Now back down. Headshot after headshot coming through. Nearly another one. There is one team kill after TJ's double. Methods will take out Nero. This is a big engagement here for Methods, but he messes up the slide. Awakening is going to catch him. They're not going to find the rest of that strap time. I thought they would have that early rotation. That doesn't happen. So it's going to be Mutineers set up here at P1. After the first rotation, they have that 40, 45-point lead.
We'll see if a break can come in for the breach. Well, Florida, they're in a pretty good spot right now. Just trying to run away with this one, building upon this lead. Let's go to listen to now. Florida, Mutineers.
Oh, I need Boston to win. Oh. Oh. Guys is frying.
Well, Joe, they're fired up, and what was a 40-point lead now continues to build, approaching 70 now as they are looking to double up their opponents and getting close to it. Mutineers feeling hot.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the top right. You have 2 players on 20, Awakening 17-11. The slaying is so one-sided. Breach are just not able to break, right? They have a couple of opportunities, but then it's a 2-piece from someone on Florida to shut that down. They've had the early rotations, everything going the way of Florida.
And this is maybe a reason why you're feeling pretty good about this particular map set, especially with the map 1. 5 in a row for Skies. How far is he going to be able to push this as he looks to reposition, maneuver for another angle, but his teammates are able to pick up all the kills as the autos are popping right now. Another one tries to hit the slide and get the pistol through. Not quite able to do it, but as the damage being done, a monumental wall now in front of the Boston Breach.
Now, if you are Boston, this is kind of the opportunity. Can you put these 2 hills together? You're going to have one player ringside, make it 2. You're going to get set up, but the spawns are going to come in. So Skies and Turiel, they're all the way in the back. If TJ spawns up, that call out is going to come in. Now, they have a chance to position and maybe combine both of these hills. But in the middle of the map is Major Maniac. He wins a one-on-one. So the spawn sort of split again. They've been just trying to stay alive, but Skies is there. And now in the ring is Awakening.
What an unbelievable sequence that could have been if he was able to get both. But it's Skies that ends up with 2 before ultimately dropping. 30 seconds remaining on the hard point. Lead still significant out for Florida Mutineers. Another team kill can take them through for Boston Breach behind the frag grenade. Just dialing it back, trying to get in. Make sure you soak up this time. You really need every second if you're going to bring this back. And, well, really, it's like, yeah, I mean, these next couple, you're right. They're going to have to change this. They're going to have to get an early break and get set. It cannot be staggered like last time.
No, so you do it. I mean, Florida just trying to play back, right? They're trying to play it safety. Sometimes it gets a little bit dangerous if you corner yourself on one side of the map, but they're able to find 2 kills, make it 3. So they're going to find the first 10 seconds that's going to go their way. Now, if you're Boston, can you trap them in the back of P4 and maybe do the same thing that they wanted to do as they transition to P5? But they have to step up this lane every time. You look at the kill feed, it is multiple players in Florida finding it with these autos. They are just popping off.
Yeah, it is just the kill feed. I mean, if you just watch the bottom left, it feels like every time it really lights up in a crazy engagement. It has just been so Mutineers heavy. This time it's Turiel popping off. Skies there with them. 20 seconds remaining. Near a flawless hold. Once again, doubling up their opponents. 112 to 221 going to be the scoreline. Is Mutineers just looking to bury this map 1. Put the pressure on Breach.
Be over to P5 now. I mean, Awakening working through the middle of the map. You still have 2 players set up, but nobody really set up by P5. So Florida, they can go through both. They don't know that right now. As Methods is cutting them off through the middle of the map. He's going to find 2 there.
Okay, all right.
Really a big set of kills there, but it's got to be flawless hard point here from Boston to try to get back to the game.
For so long. They have to be perfect for a very, very long time, but this will be the start of the perfection if they are able to do it. Guys, I'm good in that tank-to-tank heading fight. Major from top photo. Still hitting his shots. And he's kept it going. I mean, he started out unbelievable, right? At 10-2, but still 30-17. What a map it has been. Those are the numbers, like, for the most part, you've seen from Awakening Your Skies, right? Like,
well, they are. They're right there.
Yeah, I guess that's crazy. That's true, yeah.
They are right in that conversation with the 3 ARs on this Kabuto, which, again, just comes into the map vetoes, decided to play this. Well, they are just punishing Boston right now. Well, they only allow them to get, 1 second over that sequence. Nice little reach out there. And another little buddy hop out. But this time, baby, heat check. Yes, back and forth we go. A little hoppity, hippity, hop, hop. Okay. It's a double. Not quite the trip, but now they're in the hard point. Mutineers can close out this map 1. Just 3 more seconds needed. The cat's going to come through. The shots are on point. Map 1 is done. And the autos of Florida Mutineers just light it up. Yeah, they just do what they do best. I mean, everyone's getting involved from those 3 ARs. Major right from the get-go. Skies and Awakening, they step up. Again, there was opportunities, I think, for Boston, but there were no breaks that really come on in. Here's the slang. I mean, you can see Vivid -12, just everybody negative besides 0 on the Boston team. And that's big because their search really struggled through the qualifier. Now Florida takes a big hard point in map number 1. Yeah, it just looks a lot of times like a very frustrating map for Breach. Like you're just running into very good autos in positions of power and trying to win like a nutty fight or getting smoked. Like it just looks frustrating. And that's what happens sometimes when you go down early in a map like this. Yeah, that was the other thing. Even when Florida had to rotate early, right, not make a lot of mistakes, not allow them to get back into it, they won the rotation. They won the key gunfights to not allow Boston Breach to really combine multiple hills in a row. And that's probably the early rotation probably what made it a little frustrating too. I mean, often than not, they had the spots they wanted. And you thought maybe there were a couple openings, but around that scoreline is where I started to, sort of think it was over. Like usually, I was just thinking of how did they. Yeah, I don't know 100%, but when you're up it's an 80, 160 type game on this map, you don't usually see swings that are too insane. They kind of kept that scoreline, doubling up the opposition throughout most of it. And you saw some nice plays from Tureal. I don't think it's realistic for him to really pop off that much when you have your airs putting up that many kills, but being the bait, being in position, getting the calls, and just shoot over me, boys, you're fine. Yeah, here you go, though. Here's that map set. We're going to go back to Kabuto in map number 3. That's where the scary part. I mean, you just think if you add just a trio, right? You talk about the ARs on one side for Florida. Look at the other side with Miro, TJ, and Vivid. How fast that trio can play. I think that's really the question mark coming into it with the map vetoes. But yeah, they decide this is just what's going to happen. They veto Tuscan. They don't want to play it. So they can get to the Berlin. They'll feel much better. So, they got some work to do. Yeah, for Search and Destroy, I mean, you've got both teams have made a change recently, right? You've had some time, some reps to get things working on your end. You would think, just when I kind of interviewed methods and talked about this particular team before they had Cap, I think it was Search and Destroy where sometimes, he was just saying, there's these incredible plays that Narrow Cap will make sometimes, but I also don't know where they're going to be at certain times, like this two-edged sword of are they going to make a play or are they going to cost you? Vivid, you would hope in some of these scenarios would help a bit. I know the search hasn't been there, but you would think with more time, more repetitions. Well, I think the focal point for them coming into this, this last week, would probably have been in the Search and Destroy. They had such a good qualifier. They go 4-1. They beat some top teams in respawns. So you think, all right, just gotta tighten up the Search and Destroy, right? Get it on the same page. Try to get as many reps as possible. See, now I love this. He's one of the few players we've seen he's got a pillow, and I gotta think that this is mostly to do with posture, right? And I know for me, it's something I worked on a ton, back when we were grinding, is I used to arch my back, sit forward a ton, my neck was killing me, back was killing me. I gotta think this is gotta be mostly around posture. Look at that thing. That's also a fashion statement. Yeah, 100%. That's a Gucci pillow. I don't know if that's true. No, I don't think it is. But it's interesting to see because you haven't seen many players like that. And Nameless got a joke last night there. He's like, I saw that across the stage. I know I'm 3-0ing them. That's an Nameless thing to say. Yeah, no, it really is. I kind of agreed with him. But listen, these guys got to take care of their hands, right? I mean, with what has happened with Italy, with Zuma, I mean, you got to take care of yourself. I could not agree more. I think this generation, with all the gaming going on, esports, all the hours, all the grinding, take care of your hands, take care of your back, take care of your neck, take care of whatever you can so that you're able to eat a bowl of cereal without the assistance of duct tape when you're 50. That'll be us. Yes, it will. Certainly will. We're just waiting to get into the Search and Destroy. We'll see if Boston Breach can fire back and tie this one up. As Method's talking to the guys, trying to get them focused up for the search.
Skies after dealing with whatever controller issues he had. I mean, props to him if he did get a brand new controller, which I don't know if that's what I heard, was they were grabbing him another one. Yeah. He tried. I know sometimes, listen, the professional players, you swap that controller, it feels a little bit different. It just feels, you got breaking the thumbstick.
Yeah, the dead zone's down, the thumbstick's feeling good, they fit right in your thumb.
So I'm not entirely sure what the call was, but at least what we heard from production, they get him a new controller, and it was fine.
Here we go. Desert Siege Search and Destroy. Can Boston bounce back? Tie this series up one apiece. If you're a London fan, I believe we were told coming into this, if they win this match, if Florida wins this match, London is guaranteed a playoff spot, top 8. So
yeah, which would feel good after the innings were swept and how things kind of went to start.
Some good news.
Yeah, exactly. They still have a chance to make a run, but that would certainly feel good. But now we're getting ready to go. Map 2, Desert Siege, about to get underway. As Boston Breach look to answer. And Florida Mutineers look to stay hot. There's just pressure all over the place. You think about, if they get the win, that helps out London. If you're in NYSL, you're starting to panic. There's so much that's going to be going on over the course of this weekend. And of course, the headshot from Skies to kick it off. 2-0 right behind it. 4-2 advantage. Nero's trying to bring it back, and he takes 2 with him. Not going to happen, but able to get one and get out.
He was able to find that. All right, transition to a 2-on-2. So they had a 2-man advantage, but then they end up getting pinched. And everything just kind of slows down now. And I was just looking at the qualifier stats, but it was 3 repetitions for Florida. We talked about the reps, how important with the new rosters. 1 and 2 for Florida, 0 and 1 for Boston.
What?
It's difficult when you're looking at some of these stats. You're looking over the course of the year. Obviously, it's going to be a different team. Really, what you can look at is the qualifier.
Yeah.
How things improve, did they improve?
Where are you at? Where are you at?
But those reps in the matches,
Potatoes.
mistakes that they're able to go over and fix.
Losing is learning.
Yeah, that's going to set them up for success, you would think, in this matchup.
Big White able to hit the beam. Method's going to get caught out. Nero gets there on the edge with the eyes. On mission. Slug looking over him. And with the shots, we'll keep him with his POV now. It's that dead lead to last 2 up, and they're able to close it out. He's the last 2, right? He gets beams on both. Some big plays there from Big White. Oh, yeah! Oh, I like that. The crowd's freaky, Joe.
We're freaky, too.
We don't need to get into that, Joe. Haircut's going out. As the side chain 10 HP for TJ. No, that was good, though. It's never too far with me. Never. Let's see if he hit the nade over the top. Not going to connect. Wait for that 2-0 start from the round 1. Still hunting for more. 4 up on either side of it. Now it's louder to go for Major. The first hit, 52 real. The trade instantly there as Method's able to connect.
And now it's on this retake, and it's all about, what utility is left. A lot of these players, a lot of the nades young, the stuff young. Major still has 1, but he's not going to check the corner. Nero gets the bomb down, able to find a kill. So 2-on-3. This could be the difficult part with having a sniper. Is the bomb is planted, but he's able to find the pick. He's going to find an auto on the ground. Now into the 2v2. It's TJ looking over Methods. They're just trying to play corner to corner. And now it's on TJ. 1 versus 2. There's the trade. He's afraid of the fuse and Skies. Able to clutch on up.
Crazy sequence there over the end of it. You said it might be hard with the sniper in that position, but he puts one directly through. Yeah, it looked painful, but he hit the shot, Joe, right off the bat.
Yeah,
freaking.
Florida now with the retake. Nero, he hits the bomb down. He gets that first kill. Still, the trades were there for Florida. 2-on-2. I mean, TJ and Methods, there's nobody, there's no info, right? Where are they pushing from? They could be on the bomb. With those plays, Florida able to clutch on up.
This is kind of going how you're worried, Mike, though, right? Considering the surge, you lose to Junior's cruising as of now. They've done a great job with the first bloods. Granted, Boston Breach and traded back pretty efficiently to make these instances crazy rounds, but that's the back plan and Nero there, well, with the kill. Method
Still lurking deep in the dunes. Nice shots, picking them apart. Skies last one up, and finally, maybe there's something right home about your Boston Breeze.
What?
Yeah, it was fast on the side of Florida, but it was Vivid and Miro to the middle of the map, numbers 1 and 4. They just cut it off. They have the info. They're working the bomb. They take map control away from Florida so fast. They find those picks. Vivid and Nero working well together. Yeah, I was gonna say finally you get a first blood, like that happened so quick. You got one, you got the fourth within a matter of seconds. It felt like. Oh, is there like a Yankees Red Sox trash talk going on in the crowd? Did I see that? No, we gotta be careful. Oh, you guys are getting nasty. All right. Okay, well, waking the lead out, just headbutting through the wood boards is real. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Hit my throat, Joe. Listen, it's your playground, at any moment. It really is. Just like Johnson said, that's all I do. It's my playground. Mostly for headbutting stuff in the map. He gets a position here around the bomb. I heard that. Bomb now. See if they can make the push. Might be a little bit awkward, but the snap back works out. I mean, it's fast. What's that chicken parm last night? Yeah, a couple of them tracking on point as he hits the shot. Skies once again left alone on an island. 1 versus 3 this time around. The mighty Skies have a chance. Bring this one back. Info on one, not going to happen. Put down back-to-back rounds for Boston Breach. And I think the key for me here is the way Vivid is being active on the map. We saw last round taking in through the middle of that here. I mean, he's literally in a defensive spot. He's finding the routes. He's picking them apart. The methods, with that huge one-on-one kill, I mean, the timing works his way. I thought it was going to go the opposite way, but he hits the slide. Catches Awakening off guard. Yeah, no, it looked tragic, and then it wasn't. Major, who had the insane map 1 from start to finish, just a beast, and obviously known for what he can do in Search and Destroy as well. He's 0-4 to get going. See if he can find anything behind that, but Skies with the snipe out once again. Methods, who's been crucial, is 4 and 2. Just watching his POV for a moment. The information is there to both Nate's hit. Okay, so we saw this last time. It's middle of the map, but this time Major's looking over. Nero trying to go through the window. Vivid's going to be the next player up, but they have looked over Too Real. But Too Real, I'm going to hit the bomb down, probably sit here and die. I did that a lot in my career, too. It's fun. It's a good time. I thought there'd be a second Nate. It might be. Okay, TJ. All right, young man. The Iceman hitting the flick. Now a little snipe-on-side battle. Skies on one side, TJ on the other. But it's all TJ now to try and make the plays. 20 seconds to go. He's got to work this defuse after the quick flank down. Yeah, it's info on one side, not the other. Yeah, not the other. They go right back to that fast play. It does Florida. Like Boston, they had the middle of the map control last time. That's where they put all the pressure. But Major looks over the bomb planner, doesn't allow Nero to make that play and find the first blood. To make our first appearance, our first public appearance. I shouldn't have said it was going to be a three-peat. You saw the crowd. They're making sounds, Joe. Yeah, this is going to be bad. This will be my fault. We're going to start coming in. I'm going to have a meeting this afternoon. Yeah! In August. Yes! I love it! 3-2 Mutineers is Vivid trying to dance with disaster, and he will drop Too Real. Able to get in by the opening. Another first blood there to Mutineers.
Oh!
Trying to slow down Nero. Maybe he's the playmaker here, but he does have the bomb.
Down.
Could be one of those situations where if he wins a fight, maybe they're right back in the round. If he loses it, drops the bomb in that spot, could just be over.
Let's say
on TJ, maybe they did that back in this, and that's gonna be info, right? He's on the bomb. You immediately see what Nero does. He's going for the train now. They're trying to find where Major Maniac is. But there he is. And he is a kill. That is not great for Boston, but there's a quick trade. Yeah, I just didn't spot him when he first wrapped and looked left around the edge. You'd love to get that done a bit cleaner, but not going to happen. 3v2 now for Mutineers. I think that's what it would look like if you tried to run through a wall. You'd probably just hop right, like maybe hit a board. Then probably just fall backwards. I built like a tight end, Joe. That is fat. I'm not in good shape. Under 20 to go, Dell. Now they work to get the plan. Flex up. into 2 versus 3.
We're not fast though.
They're starting to span around the map, and everyone is pushing on forward. There's going to be the first one. As soon as he's off the bomb, he will be dropped. Method's last alive. No, sir, I'd like to dance.
He's had some big punches in his career. Is he going to realize that 2 reels behind him, 2 reels behind him? He took such a long route so early as the bomb was being planted, works the flank, doesn't allow Method's to make a play.
It's been just some insane timings, right? Like, I mean, that's just Search and Destroy or Call of Duty.
Well, and honestly, I think for both of these teams, they're reading the map well, right? What they're giving up, where the offensive teams are. They're just taking the middle of the map away. They're not allowing anything to develop. They're being very quick with their calls.
All right. They showed Zenny on the screen, who I'm very excited. But if you are in the crowd, I struggle to hear you at times, but please, no spoilers, guys. Let's behave. I know I said let's get Naughty and 3 that I'm okay with, but no spoilers because Joe, he'll smack you. He'll lay you out. He'll put you through the wall. I don't know if I can say that, but.
A different Joe, maybe.
Yeah, security guard Joe. Great guy.
Right back to B. I mean, they just go for the bomb play. It's going to be another 4 versus 4.
Like, stop it. It's like, we're going to. Well, I guess they did.
They did it the first round, but then they made some adjustments. And now look at this. Look what they took away from them. They have one player all the way in the offensive spawn. They've worked up through Palace. They're able to find that first kill, but 2 real is going to respond. But you're not going to expect this, are you? Sky's able to find the first and just backs away. It's just buying time for his team.
It's almost like he looks like maybe he's back there. And it's like, oh, yeah, no, he sure is. Skies tries to buy as much time as he can. Major is taking a nap. Awakening is on the point. 13 seconds to go. Peekaboo comes Major. As he pops up from the trenches.
Yeah, I want to see Major's point of view. Is he like building a sandcastle here?
I believe it was. Oh, yeah. He's deep in the dance.
He was playing with a bucket, dude. On the beach. Playing tic-tac-toe in the sand.
100%. He pops up at the opportune time, gets the kill, and closes out the round. Now 5-2 Mutineers a round away from a 2-0 edge. And it would be comfortable in both maps.
We'll see if they can get to another defensive round. What adjustments they make. They have to stop them from planning towards B. They need to win this one first. To be aggression right down the middle of the map. On the other side is 3 players lower B. This could be one of those timings, one of those plays. Might work out for either side. It's Awakening. He's just going to go.
He's just going to go, and he's going to win his one. Method's going to get picked, and they are dropping. Major wins the gunfight after the clutch in the previous round. The autos, what do you know? 1, 2, 3. They're dropping like flies. The dominoes collapsing. And it's now just TJ looking to do a final dance, but unfortunately behind him is Major Maniac, and that will be the final kill through. Mutineers dominating thus far. Up 2-0, and yeah, they're making it look clean and easy.
I think this is just the addition of Major Maniac. I really do. Like, they are fast on the map, Florida. Just with their calls, what they're giving and taking away. I mean, on offense, they just went to B. On defense, they were taking away B. All right, we can work the flank. There's nothing over towards the mountains and the dune side, so let's get pushed up. Have them have to focus on the flank, and Boston, they just were not ready for it.
No, and then it just felt like even when they were, there was like crucial fights, like got done for the most part. Like how many like one-on-ones? And this is a stat for Big Wake that's like been a thing throughout him coming into the league, like back in MW, right? Like he just wins one-on-one gunfights. And a couple times he relied on him to take a fight and win it. He did. Like the guy's a beast.
Yeah, him and Skies 8 and 5 out of Awakening, 7 and 4 out of Skies. I mean, it's not the craziest stats, but it wasn't a crazy game. 6-2 is Florida. And now we're going to go back to Booty. I mean, we know with control how important it can be. We just saw it last series, and you get the momentum on your side.
Yeah, I feel like Ace just goes into a search, like, just like, no one's going to gun me. He just wants to take one-on-ones. Yeah. Like, just has that attitude that, like, I'm going to smoke whoever's in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's great, and sometimes it doesn't.
No, 100%.
You can't smoke playing that way, but you're playing with confidence.
I think you have to have a confidence of you, whether it's you're an NBA athlete or you're competing in the CDL, you need to have that, like,
delusional confidence at times.
It's like, I'm going to gun whoever's in front of me. Yeah, not too delusional, but I don't want to back away. It's 2-0 for the Mutineers. They are one map away from continuing on. A win for Florida Mutineers would guarantee top 8 in a championship run potential for the London Royal Ravens. But we're not done yet. You saw in the first match, reverse sweep is always possible. The control, so massive. Joe, what was your tip?
We're in control.
the big one, Joe. Back three after this quick break.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew and Zenny. Armor your eyes with Blocks gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDM.
Oh yeah, we are back and ready to go. We're taking a look around the venue and all the awesome setups we have.
Alright, boys, we're gonna have to end stream.
Drinks and headphone apparatuses, Joe.
So, thank you guys all for tuning in.
Beautiful fit. Oh, put your giga, Joe. Why am I barking again, man? Like,